initiative because we are live!
Whoa,
Woo! Wait, my dice!
I always forget.
15.
2.
I'm gonna all your roll.
Whale.
We
12.
win.
Like, you're right. Ernie is the only one that's going to survive this.
Told you.
Wait, what? Was that?
Okay, welcome everyone to Windfall.
Does that
We
mean
are
I
so
won't
glad
die
to be
first?
here this week in an awesome episode. First off, some announcements. First of all, the 29th, which I think is a Saturday. Let me pull up my calendar real quick. We will not be having
Yeah, I think it's 3
Windfall.
weeks from
Let me
today.
just make sure real quick. Is it 3 days?
3 weeks
2.
from today.
3 weeks from today.
In 3 days.
So let's see right here.
So you have
Yeah.
21 days.
Let me see right here. The 29th. Is that a Saturday? Yes. So the 29th. We will not be having Windfall on that day.
We're going to go trick-or-treating as a group.
As a group, we're going to go trick-or-treating.
Oh boy, I've never been trick-or-treating.
No. But I have several things going on, and I hope everyone enjoys their Halloween weekend. So unfortunately, there will be no Windfall on the 29th. Other announcements. Sadly, the Juice King is not here. We will not have him for this session, just like last session. Kai is off doing his own thing, but I think you're in chat, Juice. Your question: can I use my exes like a normal viewer? Yes. You may redeem
my
your exes like a normal viewer as long as you're in the chat.
Cast Big Rock Candy Bullet.
In the Big Rock Candy Bowl.
Make sure you
wait.
save enough to
Oh,
contribute
wait.
to the fund.
Yes, he already did all his
He could
maximum
add a
amount.
monster.
If you would like to see some horror games on the stream, by which I mean I will play, I think, Dread. We'll do a game of Dread in October. And I'll also be playing some horror video games. We are about at 82 of the 150K needed, so if it doesn't hit it, I'm not doing it because I'm scared of spooky games.
Lise, do it.
I will.
You know
I
it
will
must be done.
absolutely scream. Yes. I react in a very big way to scary stuff. So.
You reacted a big way to
I told you.
Juice coming in hot before the session even starts. We know the Loot Goblin is coming out in this fucking episode.
gonna be in
Blow
the-
all of our spells on the Loot
my
Goblin.
God.
All right, let me change my spells.
Oh shit. Okay. Yikes. All right. And you
his-
too
his
can do
saves are
crazy
really
stuff
high,
like
though.
releasing the Loot Goblin, adding monsters if you follow along with us live. If not, check us out on YouTube where you can catch all the VODs. Be sure to like and subscribe on there.
And when the Windfall campaign concludes today because of the Loot Goblin, you'll also catch Windfall 2.
Yeah, this dungeon is fucked up,
Windfall
y'all.
2.
If you're enjoying some of our other
Windfell.
content, our Pokemon content will resume, and you'll be seeing some of that on YouTube soon. So stick around for that, because we've been playing a lot of Pokemon, and we have been enjoying the hell out of that. We have a wicked, crazy Kaizo Ironmon run going right now.
Pump guy.
All right, Pump Guy. I think that's about all I have to talk about. Anyone got anything else to talk about?
Recap me.
Well, we begin. On last week's episode of Windfall, Pierce the Veil.
Oh, we did go with that.
We did, yes. Thank you, Mitchell. The party began in the celebrations of Lindy Windlock after returning the Marquis back to his correct place, being knighted, getting our new secret mission, talking to spooky, handsome, deadly men. The party met with... oh my god. I gotta pull up my notes, hang on. Our guest character.
Strange.
I know. Thrain. I was trying to think of his last name. It's
Thrain Big and Fancy.
Thrain Big and Fancy. So they met up with Thrain, a representative of the Midnight Vigilant. I'm so flustered right now because I can't think of his last name and it's killing me. I think it was Runeforged. I'm sorry, Ifrit. I don't know why my brain is like this. I think I'm just nervous.
I think it was.
A member of one of the 6 guilds of Vrosa, which is the city of spells in the free cities of Sadris, a place where the city-states, these large, massive metropolises, all have their own independent rulership over the countryside, each with their own policies, religion, and politics. Vrosa, where they worship magic, is ruled by 6 guilds, of which Thrain was a high-ranking member. he promised entry into the city as a payment for getting a ride back to Sadris. In return, he asked the party a favor for the protection of the Midnight Vigilant within the city. For free reign of the city and being known that you're under the protection of one of the 6 great guilds, he asked that the party retrieve, in no uncertain terms, thank you again, Ifrit, a phylactery, a powerful artifact holding incredible amounts of magical power, said to hold the very life essence of a powerful archwizard. Not much is known about it, but it's said that the dwarf researcher who Ernie was sent to rescue was also interested in such an artifact and had rumored that perhaps she had headed to that exact place. Apparently, the artifact was in the hands of Kroon.
Yes.
One of the 6 guilds. A very interesting sect of chronomancers, time mages. And that is where we go ahead and pull in to our session for today. Sorry, I'm not usually that flustered with the recap, but I really stopped. Was like, what's his last name? And it got me pulled up. All right. So as we draw in today, I'm going to go ahead and put on a little bit of ethereal music. The Ebony Hall, even with your granted magical vision, is a state of perpetual dusk, twilight. The shadows thick and covering every corner, as if the architecture itself was constructed to conceal as much as possible. The dim bluish purple of the torch sconces scattered about, they don't shed light more than a few feet from their course. And the area around them looks darker than the rest, almost like they draw the shadows in. The meticulously crafted decor, all of which have this sanguine quality of deep wine, reds, purples, these midnight blues, are neat, well-trimmed. Think very sleek, modern, hard, sleek edges to everything. Omen Han, the enigmatic guildmaster, smiles. You can see just the faintest glow of white of their perfect teeth. A warm, confident smile as the edge of their face leans out just into the light. One curved eye glows, a deep inky iris staring at you as she speaks. That is the most recent information we have. As recompense for entry into the city and the protection of the Midnight Vigilant, we request you retrieve this phylactery. Stealth and subtlety may be your greatest boon. I don't deign to say that you should not use any means necessary. Make no mistake, your lives and more may be at stake, so defend them as you will. However, the guild must not be implicated, else disaster may unfold. If you are exposed, it may be required of us to condemn your actions publicly and to offer you no aid. She just pulls back and you can just see their silhouette, just like a locked character in a video game, just like in the shadows, just staring at you.
So, if worst does come to worst, is there like a way out? Because the dome, does it keep us in like it keeps things out?
Yeah, if we just run and jump off the side.
An excellent question. The veil is more about what comes into the city, as many are free to leave, but that re-entry is up to the individual. If you do not have a guild's explicit permission to come back in, you will find re-entry difficult.
Yeah, well, if we're fleeing the city, I doubt we'll be in much of a position to return anyway.
It's a joint effort of all 6 guilds to maintain the veil. It would require each of us to lend a bit of magical power, not to mention something of what we are hunting, to keep it within the city. Such a thing is not unheard of, but I think getting out of the city is your best option. And praying that the diviners do not look too carefully at you. This is the city of spells, after all.
Now, you said they were time wizards?
Chronomancers.
Yeah.
Time wizard's easier to say.
What is that?
The word mancer.
Are they gonna kill my grandpa? So that I don't exist.
That has been one of their exploits and one of their tests, but they have failed as such to create a timeline in which they could alter the course of events. But I believe that to be their ultimate goal. Time isn't explicitly one of the schools of magic. It falls under the abjuration, the evocation, the conjuration schools, the pillars of the 4 types of magic. Do not explicitly denote anything as time. It is unknown. It is almost taboo to assume that one could control time. And I respect them for it. That is not to say that they have not made great strides or that they have not altered their own spells from the other schools of magic to be more akin to what they perceive as their mastery over time. You should expect not only time magic, but an array of spells from any seasoned wizard. Not Weasand Scissored, like I was going to say.
So
they hit you with a fireball that kills you in 3 days.
or did they hit you with a fireball 3 days ago?
Or, for
I already
example,
did.
Can
For
they see the
example,
future?
if a hand of Kroon hits you with a wilting spell and your body deteriorates, one might call that necromancy, watching your life force sap away. They call it chronomancy. They're watching you decay over time. Some of them are more fervent in their beliefs than others. Others just seek the power, but
Why do they do the choppy chop?
the choppy chop is a denotation that they are a full-fledged member. If you see someone wearing Hands of Kroon clothing, you'll notice the chain. You'll notice the gray, sleek, chrome, plain clothes. You'll notice that they keep their beards long and wizened. They try to keep their appearance as true as possible to their form, if that makes sense. Whereas other magicians may make themselves beautiful or remove blemishes, the Hands of Kroons will gladly allow their liver spots, their wrinkles, their dark circles under their
Signs of
eyes,
aging.
their signs of aging. But the younger the member, the least likely they are to be extremely powerful. The older the member, the more dangerous they are. If you see any member with 2 hands, it denotes an acolyte, someone who is not a full-fledged member. The hands are their own hands. The mage's hand, which they have done in some sort of ritual sacrifice, of which I do not know. Sadly to say, I wish I had more information. I know it is powerful. They can channel spells through them. Some say that they use them like a spell book, the fingerprints and lines on the hand acting as the pages of their own spells, or as a sign of their station. I have noticed blemishes. They are rotting and they are dark, but at the fingertips, a peculiar case of rot. And they all seem different. I have noticed that, but I'm not sure what it means.
Each finger or each different hand?
The finger. Each hand has different fingers denoted, and a different decay. Looking wildly from my note card. We'll find it later. Found it. It's cool. It could just be signs of decay that I did not recognize in others. I do not know. I do not wish to mislead you.
Could it perhaps have something to do with their magics?
It's
The way
quite,
they channel it?
it
you
is quite
mentioned-
possible.
Either way, if they're as powerful as you say they are, how are we supposed to break in and grab one of their potentially most valuable artifacts?
Are you not powerful yourselves? I've heard whispers. I have heard tales. Witches killed. Dragons felled. A behir taken down in a single shot.
Yeah, the guy that did that ain't here today.
It was a good
The guy that did all of that is not here today.
I did hear someone leaving my hall.
Yeah, he said he'd be right back. We could just wait.
I am a...
You should.
You
Nothing
are
tells
free
me
to
we
wait.
cannot do that.
That is your prerogative. However, the phylactery may be time sensitive. Each hour we spend is another hour that it is taken, moved.
Plus, isn't this also part of a rescue mission?
Yeah.
I feel that puts a bit of a time sensitivity to it as well.
If she was here, how did she get here? She would have needed guild access.
I mean, isn't she like a prisoner of theirs? They could have brought her in on their own. We don't really know where she was abducted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure anybody can get access to the city if they have convincing enough mercantile records and such. You wave enough money around, someone will let you in.
It's true. We do various dealings with the other free cities, as well as with Arla, Restaurant, Starheel, and especially Asoa. You have much to discuss. Take all the time that you need, but understand that the mission may be time sensitive.
If we need to pick up some supplies or such, are there just shops that it will sell to us, or do we need to see do you have like an in-house guy?
I do have in-house supplier that Thrain could show you to in just a moment, and you are welcome to peruse our wares. We are not great craftsmen, except of golems. She puts a hand on Pierce, who the sapphire kind of shines for a second.
I haven't considered that.
But we do procure items, and we do have our own way of weaving things. The City of Spells is richer even than the great bazaars of Carthanen or the Wayfarer's Market in Lindell. You can find any wonder you wish here, but you would not find those willing to sell to you without the proper station. You are under the protection of the Midnight Vigilant. Simply saying that will get you many places, but it would also tie you to this mission. They would begin to whisper to notice you. I will say this. As you walk through the city, do so with the air of confidence. Do not look like an outsider. Do not look like you don't belong. Step with authority, with strength, and the weak will bend to your will. That is the law of Rosa, the law of magic. And if you need to use the guild's name, I authorize you to do so. You may find a discount in several stores, but it may compromise you. It is a risk you're going to have to take.
Right.
I will leave you to your devices so that you may rest. Simply, she turns towards Pierce, who walks over to the corner, and he shuts down, crouching down with the arms over his knees. He will watch over to you to make sure you are secure while you rest. Simply ask him, and he will call for Thrain if you need anything from us at all. You will find, and she just waves her hand, and the wall next to you shakes. And suddenly, this solid wall, which you are 100% certain was a solid black wall, is this velvet curtains that pull back.
I knew it.
And suddenly, there's this beautiful twilight room. There are these great tower windows, 15 feet high, that are just shining in this milky starlight. It's gorgeous. And you see these really beautiful beds with these silken sheets. Rest. And please know that you are my honored guest. and she leans forward. You can see just the tip of her bald head, her sharp, freshly plucked eyebrows, and the eyes that just stare at you with this sort of gentle sweetness and this cunning insight as they pull back into the darkness. And you're staring at the silhouette for as long as you can, and you're like, okay, and suddenly you realize you never saw a silhouette at all, and the shadows are just shadows. I will also take my leave of you, says Thrain.
Fuck.
I thought he already had.
Yeah.
He lays a hand on his shoulder. You will need more courage than that where you are going, friend. If you need anything, ask Pierce. I will be around.
He's right.
And he dismisses himself as well, taking a curt bow and backing out. Fuck!
Getting a little heavy there.
All right.
I'm good.
So you don't think that a door or anything closes because you don't hear it, but suddenly where they were standing and that light was in, it's just like black now, and you're like, is it another curtain? Is it a wall?
We should check out our quarters, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree.
So, both this dwarf and the phylactery are at their hall, which may be as disorienting as this place.
Yeah, I think that's a real risk.
Except instead of shadows,
It's probably
time magic?
yes.
Like, are we gonna get stuck walking down the same hall for all eternity?
What if we
we
get
don't
old?
know?
Hang on, I gotta change my dungeon real quick.
I mean,
Now, they were unclear, but it might be that the most powerful of them cut off their feet, too. In which case, I say we just run.
So if we
Take
see
a
someone
fucking hero point, because you almost made me spit out my drink.
Yeah. We see someone show up in a wheelchair.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, God!
Both hands, like,
The head, the shoulders, the knees and toes of Gloom.
it's just a nerd.
You just see like this one pair of lips. I am the mouth of Groon.
He's so powerful.
Hey, Macarena.
That's a demi-lich, right?
Um,
Hang on, BRB, changing my dungeon again.
yeah, so they're surely going to have some powerful magical protections, especially around this.
If we have to encounter them, which it sounds like that's going to be inevitable, do you think they would, reward us if we bring back one of the hands?
I mean, we probably... Okay, look. Obviously, if we can steal a hand, we're gonna steal a hand. But
my hand.
the goal should be to get in and get out without them ever
Oh,
knowing
no, I
we're
don't mean
there.
like any extra effort. That's what I was saying. Like, we're going to be...
Let me tell you, I highly recommend we don't kill any of them.
Oh, no, of course not.
Because they will
What's
find
that look
us.
for?
Just gotta be careful when you're whirling knives through the air.
I am nervous about, I mean, we might have to just, find out a little bit more about their hideout, but, yeah, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, but sneaky. We're mostly sneaky.
Yes, we are mostly sneaky. I look over at Brooks's clanky cast iron armor.
Didn't say I wasn't anything else besides.
If we put some, cooking oil on that.
I mean, I might have something that could help.
Could you turn them really small? We put them in a pocket,
No.
and then when we need them, we just sort of.
No.
No, I can't do that, but
It's dinner time.
okay, but no, you're writing on the fork and projectile.
That's all special.
Go, Tony!
But yes. How do we perform some
projectile go?
reconnaissance without drawing too much notice?
I mean, look, we can just pick a lock and get in, probably.
I mean, it's probably not as simple as picking a lock. The last lock we encountered here was the giant eyeball or flaming skull.
Yeah, that's true. But like a lot of magic folks sometimes forget about like the mundane.
So you think they might have overlooked
Yeah.
locking a window? Should we
Right. There might be something that's just like not like there might be like
They are
a
older, maybe they're not kept up with the time.
Are you doing the Geth don't have window structural like integrity like thing?
I mean, yes, but I would imagine that they would have some sort of magical enchantment on it or trap.
Can you turn that off?
A number of times, yes.
that's a great start.
Yeah, that sounds promising.
So
Perhaps I should prepare more.
even if she did, and we were in, then we have to find where it is. I mean, you saw this room, this
Well,
curtain.
Look, there's 6 guilds. Oh, you mean find the room inside
Yeah.
the guild hall? I thought you meant find the guild hall. I was just, I mean, it's
sure we
probably
could follow the
probably the
hands.
ones with a lot of hand motifs.
Thingies. But
When it looks like you're playing Elden Ring, you're there.
but then we have to find where they're keeping this very powerful, very important.
We just look
object.
for the people with no hands, and they're going to be the ones guarding it.
Would they?
Does anyone have like magic that can like find something?
I can find a. I might.
I mean,
Let me read what this is.
Because I have this, and I pull out an ordinary lockpick.
outside of detect magic, I don't have anything that could pinpoint.
Yeah,
A
I feel like we're gonna be
specific
detecting a lot of
item.
magic.
Yes, I would
can-
imagine.
If there is magic I have that can lead us to a place,
Do you have to know of the place? I doubt you could just be like, bring me to their vault and find their vault or wherever they happen to be keeping their.
choose
That
a
said, we
destination.
could grab a guy and be like, bring me to their vault.
You don't want to kill them, so.
I cast Learn Secrets.
It just says choose a destination. You receive an inspired route to that destination.
There you go.
Okay, here's the plan. We join as acolytes. We earn their trust over the next 10 to 20 years.
I don't think we have that time.
Yeah, I think I have like 7.
unless we learn the time magic and then go back in time.
They could put us in like some sort of stasis.
Maybe we
for our
already
training.
have it.
We just tell
Check
them
my
we're. No, wait.
Yeah, you check
We
your
tell them we're
pockets.
acolytes from the future.
That,
They'll be like, you
Wow.
have hands.
while inspired, I don't think that's the goal.
But it sounds really
Oh,
fun.
I have a better one. We're you from the future.
But they'll be old. Do they think
And
that
we'll have-
Everybody's a frog
we'll
in the
have both
future.
of our-
Things changed.
I mean, I'm a frog, and I didn't used to be.
Yeah.
So I think subtlety will be our way in. I don't think that's gonna work.
Yeah, I'm going back to the window plan.
Damn it.
Do they sleep? Or do they have some sort of like time magic for that, where they just sort of, oh, I'm done.
They hit the wait button.
A catnap.
I have no idea. I don't know of any magic that can do that, but I
I think I did.
suppose it
hear
would be
about
possible.
one necromancy spell which lets you sleep really quickly.
Is it called becoming a zombie? Never needing to sleep again.
I need to do a little bit of shopping. I got gold burning a hole in my pocket.
I mean, I just gave that to you.
Do you think
I
we're going to go
Do we want to?
tonight? Today?
No, we should sleep.
We're gonna rest.
What
tonight?
time is it? It's just so dark. We should rest, I think. Though honestly, I feel pretty good. I could go tonight.
I mean, we could do some reconnaissance tonight.
That's what I was thinking. Is we can go to the market and at least find out where this place is. If y'all want to like come with me.
Maybe do a
You definitely shouldn't be
walkabout.
going alone.
Yeah, probably not. I'm gonna start dressing up. If y'all, so I take that ordinary lockpick that I had, and I open it, and it like into like this full like kit in front of you.
Oh.
And I pull
Where did
out.
you get that?
I pick mine up and I'm like,
It's standard issue. And I pull out my disguise kit, and
It's a expert disguise kit too,
it's
yeah.
an elite disguise
one.
kit. And what I'm going to do is I take the mask of the Banshee that I got off the Shrieking Sisters ship, and I put that on, and then I, with the disguise kit, do enough of a hood and such that I look like a standard issue Shrieking Sister.
I'd say based on the dead bodies that you saw, the bloated bodies, and like maybe some motifs that you picked up in town, I want you to go ahead and roll this.
This just be deception with
It's deception, and then you have your bonus,
for the
+1, I think,
correct
circumstance or item.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a 33.
It's unnerving. You know it's Ernie. You watched him do it, but like every time so often you turn over, this mask is the visage of a woman suffering. This eternal scream, these curved elven lines, this red hood that's pulled up with stitches along the side of it, now pulled into this sort of. Are you going for a feminine guise or like a masculine guise or?
Do I know enough of the Shrieking Sisters to know if they have men in their
I think they
ranks?
discussed it last session that it's just a name. It's mostly
Yeah, I think one of the corpses was
feminine
masked.
people, but like they don't discriminate. Anyone can join. So
I at the very least, like all of my facial hair retracts for the first time you see me without mutton chops, and I kind of like get a little bit more like smooth featured, but otherwise I remain the same. Kind of shorten my hair, and actually I go bald.
okay, nice. And there's sort of a tawny tinge to his skin now, whereas it used to be more of like a sort of a sunburnt kind of deal. Now it's like this red that's creeping up through the pale. You can see these fabrics that he pulls out, this just out of nowhere, this long sort of silken thing with this red cape that's flowing down into these stitches of these sashes that go over, and he looks like a Shrieking Sister. It is convincing. And it's sort of unsettling and horrifying. You know where it's like not really scary, but you can sort of feel an aura of something. There's this aura of terror radiating from Ernie right now.
Pretty cool, right? I
love how we sat there and watched him like apply makeup.
Yeah, this takes a while, so I assume
Yeah.
everyone else, if you want to do something like this, is you glancing over while he's doing that.
So, as you pointed out, I am a little concerned about a stealth mission because my armor is pretty loud. The best I could do is conceal our appearance for a short time, but as long as I'm standing still.
What if we found like a scroll or something that you didn't have to wear your armor, but you could like snap your fingers and assemble it? Is there something that could have that so you could sneak in with us, and then if battle were to happen, just suit up?
I think there is magic like that. We can maybe find it.
Yeah.
Town of Wizards, we might be able to.
I think
acquire
we
something.
should try to not look like
We're about to break in somewhere.
outsiders, but we also should not look like midnight vigilant people. It's just kind of my thought process, because as much as we might try, this is going to go sideways.
What do I look like?
A frog.
Okay. I think that's
Pretty
good.
Strip him nude and put him on a leash.
Do you think we're going to be fighting anything tonight, or should we?
I mean,
I feel like this is the kind of place that
Because I could dress
is more
into
alive in the
my
evening.
doublet, so I'm not wearing just armor around. But if we get into a fight, I'll just die.
what do we gain from not going tonight? I'm as good as I'm ever going to
Mentally
be.
preparing
As
myself.
long as we get to sleep after, I'm good to go.
Okay.
I think. Right?
I'm just saying, if we start looking at the building and someone like walks away from a door,
And we
we
decide
want the
it's-
option to just go for it.
I suppose so. And we can examine the exterior to see if we can see any magical things.
Maybe one of you, being our more magically inclined folk, can dress as like a well-to-do outsider that is trying to ask questions about which guilds can let people in. Because
Is that too?
Nosy?
Is that going to draw their attention to people
I mean,
getting in?
certainly people are applying all the time. These places are pretty fucking cool.
Does that peg us as outsiders then?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to be an outsider as long as they don't know what we're attached to.
As long as we're confident.
I'm not talking about walking up to the front door and being like, let me in. I'm talking about when we're in the market, ask questions about what, try to find out what people say about.
Yeah, there's
the
already
hands
some
of Fern.
degree of trust allotted to us because we're in the city.
That's right. Somebody had to let us in.
Wishing to petition
Would they
one of the
ask?
guilds might be a standard reason for wanting to visit the city.
I'll reiterate a plot point that everyone would know and lore that everyone would know. There are hundreds of guilds.
There's
Some
six
large, the 6 big ones
the 6
own
big
all of the other ones, so it's like a pyramid scheme sort of. But there are hundreds of different guilds. There's like craftsmen's guilds, there's tailors guilds, there's golem guilds, and all of those belong to they're like subletted out basically. Like they lend their services or they owe debts to the big guilds.
Yeah.
So we could have been let in by one of these smaller guilds.
Yeah, you could be a member of a lesser guild.
Perhaps be inquiring to join one of the lesser guilds and then follow up with, is there any rising in the ranks to become a member of a main guild? Like, how does one do that?
Be like, man, I've been really itching to chop this hand off. You know where I get an audition?
I'm just getting PTSD from when I accidentally almost joined a pyramid scheme myself. And I'm like, I can't do this, you guys. I can't do this again.
They get you in college. If you're 19 and someone says, hey, you want to make a bunch of money selling knives? Tell them no.
But I
knives
say
are
this.
cool.
I say this because Brooks will say, so if we go in there and ask hey, how does one join? And they're like, oh, this is how you do it. But you give us your credit card information, we'll let you know how to do it. It's like, oh, but I just wanted to know. It's like, oh, we'll tell you, but you have to give us your credit card first.
Just
Or
charge.
just say we're
just
keeping
charge
our
it to the
options
ship.
open and we can't commit to anything at the moment.
Give them Kai's.
It didn't work for me. I had to run away. I had to make something up and run away. I mean,
You can always lie.
how? About what? Maybe we could get one particularly gullible guild member from a lower guild and chum up.
I don't think that in this get up that I got here, I'm going to be able to ask a lot of questions.
No, it's very spooky.
I think I'm going to have to do more of a hiss and point.
Or, I mean, because of that, they might take you more seriously. They might be scared and answer questions.
Yeah.
Though I suppose it would be implied
But
that you would know most of it.
That's my thought, is that they would probably be like, why don't you know that?
Well, I thought we would be inquiries, shopping, and reconnaissance.
Right.
Because, again, we don't want to
Me
draw too
talking
much
to
attention to
people,
ourselves.
because that's
and
always ended well.
if we're traveling in such a large group, especially,
Yeah, we shouldn't roll 4D through the market. We should just kind of fan out a little bit. Stay within eyesight of each other, but talk to 4 different people.
Gather some information, but don't say who we work for,
Yeah.
I guess.
We do not belong to the Windfall. We do not belong to the Midnight Vigilant. What's that made up ship we did? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Be a lot funnier if you did.
Excelsior.
Maybe we could look for a scroll shop and see if I can find some scroll
Yeah, with the.
to store my armor.
I think that's a good plan.
Can I use scrolls?
I can.
I should, because
And
I'm
I'm
a
fucking stupid.
As long as it's on my spell list,
Yeah.
you can use it? Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you have a trick magic item, you can trick it.
Or you just try real hard.
Because I don't... Do I have that on my spell list?
What's your spell list? Divine?
Yeah.
I don't know. What spell is it?
I forget what it's called.
Because I think there's a focus spell for it, but I don't remember...
Let's see.
It'll be like a... Was it a second level spell?
I guess since we're trying to look a little nicer,
Instant
I'll
armor?
change into my
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Instant armor.
dress.
Oh, it is on my list then.
If it is on your list, yeah, a scroll wouldn't be.
Okay, it's a level 2 spell.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, you can. What is it? You just don armor as an action instead of a minute-long activity or something.
You snap your fingers and the armor returns to your body. You should make 100 of those and just have your super high level armor and just take it off after
Yeah,
every.
that's what I was saying. Like carry your armor in like a bag or something.
Because the way that this system is set up is like they expect you to have a bunch of consumables and stuff like that. So like having a bunch of scrolls is like.
Well, I guess we can find, because it's such a low level spell that I'm sure we could find it.
Yeah, I'm looking for wands, so they're probably like right next to each other.
Mhm.
All right, let's go.
All right. So who's going where first?
I'm hanging out with Ernie. We're going shopping, and I guess while we're walking around and he's like shopping, I want to keep an eye out for I guess the distinct members of the Hand and see if like they're congregating near any buildings. See them coming in and out of like certain points. Like trying to determine where their headquarters are if it's not an obvious location.
You can roll perception with a with misfortune, or I'll let you roll society if you decide to talk to people and ask. Being subtle, of course, well, that will have a higher DC, but no misfortune.
I'll do perception because it's a difference of plus 13.
Okay, that's
I
pretty.
have 0 society.
That makes sense for your character, yeah.
Okay. And 22.
A 22. You see some Hands of Kroon. You'll notice the Hands of Kroon are always in even numbers. They're always in even numbers. You see 2, you see 4. You see 6 like every once in a while, like some acolytes and some mages, but you never see them in odd numbers. Don't know why. You do see a pair of sort of wizened looking Hands of Kroon. They have balding on top, long, sparse Rasputin hair coming down, a thick, grizzly, untrimmed beard like mine, just a couple years longer. And they have hands rotting and curled around them, and they are walking with great haste. And you see them with this sense of urgency and sort of anger on their face, to where like someone gets in their way, and you see one wave his hand, and you see the guy's legs, one of them snap, and he just rolls out of the way of him. And you hear him say, "Next time you will stand aside." And they start moving really quickly.
You can only stand aside.
Oh, shit. And you see them like, they don't run, but you see them walking, and they are walking like, they're doing the, like the Malcolm in the Middle power walk. Like, they're just...
I kind of imagine them like moving like really fast, but their robes aren't like disrupting, so they just look like
They're just like
gliding.
Yeah, they're just going.
They
Like,
segue.
they're going really quickly, and you can see the crowd sort of moving around, and they are moving with determination and purpose. That's a pair of them. If you choose to follow, you choose to follow.
Yeah, I'll probably nudge Ernie and be like, I gotta leave, and I'll try and like I can walk pretty briskly, I guess.
Okay. Ernie, you
Attempt to-
joining?
Faster than an old man, surely.
I'm gonna try to buy these wands that I'm hunting down real fast.
Okay, you first, and then all right, we'll get to you last actually,
Yeah.
because you're following them by yourself. Okay, Ernie, how do you try and find a wand?
I'm looking for a wand shop.
A wand shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything?
You
obvious?
can roll like you can investigate with a perception check for me real quick, or you can roll society, whatever you choose.
$31.
31. Okay. Whew. As you walk in, like as you walk into town, you do separate yourself from the rest of the group, and then, oh my god, I almost messed up a little bit. As you're walking, you can see people like terrified of you. Like they don't make eye contact. They look away. They cast their eyes down, and it's almost painful because like you can see some of them like grabbing their necks, like hiding a scar. Some of them like hiding burns on their faces, like they are averting their gaze from you because you are clearly established as like a shrieking sister now.
You're very scared.
As you go up, you see this kobold. He has this sort of like you didn't know kobolds can really, like, some of them are kind of hairy despite being scaled and dragony. They have like little wizened beards. This one has a long beard that's kind of twisted into little swirls. He has these glossed over sort of pale eyes, like he's losing his eyesight. He's wearing a big coat that's just like full of maybe stuff in the back. Like he carries his entire stuff on his back, and he like prostrates himself in front of you.
Please, it would honor this one greatly if the Shrieking Sisters would look upon my items.
He takes it off and he unrolls the bundle, and it unwraps itself, and all of the items are just neatly placed out. You see a fine selection of wands, some with metal adornment, some with charms and accessories, some of these finely carved and smooth sanded wood, others that look like bits of branch that have just been bit off.
All fine, please.
I look first at the wands. Do they appear to be good?
Let's roll Arcana real quick.
Whew. Hot right now, 33.
They are all in working condition, and they are all pleasantly powerful wands. They're all very nice. You probably can't discern just from an Arcana check what they do, but like you can sense the magical aura. You can sense no deceit in his voice. It seems like he wouldn't dare lie to you. In fact, you see him take some items and scoop them away.
No, don't know how those got in there. Please, fine items.
I see 2. Invisibility.
Yes.
You're looking for a wand of invisibility?
Yes.
Okay.
Didn't know they were called the Whispering Sisters.
This is what Ernie thinks they do.
His voice is very hoarse from shrieking.
Alright, so let me see. Wands. What level spell is that?
It's a level 2 spell. My book price is 160.
Your book price is 160?
In the mosh pits.
I will say this. You're just looking for a level 1. I mean, just a level 2 base. Not.
Yes, I'm looking for invisibility and blur.
So, pulls out a wand, and you can see it's a very sleek, black wooded wand that kind of tapers off into like a thin nothingness at the edge.
Please, it would humble this one if you would.
Roll intimidation with fortune.
I get a +2 for my mask.
Yes, you do.
Oh my god.
What?
36.
Take it! For you! A gift! What other fine things would you like to purchase?
Second.
Blur.
Oh. He's like, oh shit, I have one wand of invisibility. A wand of blur?
Yes, also the level 2 spell.
Okay. This one he holds out.
For only the paltry sum of 140 gold pieces.
I take a handful of gold that I think is near 140 gold pieces and just kind of pour it in front of him. It could be 130, it could be 160.
Let's
Feel free to roll for it.
Yeah, let's roll for it. Let's roll
Is that just me?
let's roll a d12 and see how much gold you save.
It's 10 gold.
2. So 138.
Okay.
This.
And he's about to get indignant, and he looks up and just sees the banshee face.
Excellent. An excellent choice. May it serve you well.
You have done well.
Yes. I hope that the Shrieking Sisters
We
will.
know your name now.
Yes.
I never gave
That's
my
so.
name.
Yeah, no, that's
Yes.
what's so creepy about it.
Your true name.
Is there any way this humble servant may provide?
Make more of these. You know what comes next.
I receive my blessing.
And he holds out. He holds out his hand.
Take as many fingers as you need. I live to serve.
Oh my god.
Maim me in the way that you deem fit.
You can't leave him hanging.
You roleplayed into this motherfucker.
I'm sweating for you.
Just kiss it.
I would,
Okay, take
I would
his
bear
hand
any
and then
wound in the
pretend to
name of
be
your
one of
guild.
the hand guy.
Oh.
Oh no, I can't do that.
Oh my god.
This trembling kobold is now shaking as he presents his body
It's the
for
right
you.
size hand.
And it's implied that the Shrieking Sisters have to do business, maim the people that they did business as a sign of good faith.
I take it.
Actually, I hated it. I hated it.
I pull my dagger
Yes.
and grab his hand,
Yes.
but turn it over, and I cut the palm of his hand and let it like drip on the blade, and then just like put it.
Yeah, sheath it with the blood.
I shall not clean the wound. I shall let it fester, as you command.
All right.
Did my best.
Ernie just like sweating behind the mask.
At one point, you have to say, "Am I still a good person if I'm pretending to be this bad?"
The Slippery Sisters.
I pray in your infinite wisdom you will remember the kobold guilds in the future.
I will.
He rolls with the bundle.
Did he just moan?
Probably.
This place is fucked up.
I wanted to make this I wanted to make it really clear to the audience and you guys. Like, I wanted it to be different. Like, this is not your typical height. Like, this place
it's
is
different.
Yeah.
It's brand new.
Yep.
I love how you poured the gold on the table. It reminded me of when I worked in fast food and someone did
Yeah.
that
Just
with
throw
quarters.
the change.
Yeah, I was like,
There's a feat that lets you like count things like that. Really.
Whenever someone did that to me, whenever I worked in the food service industry, we'll just very slowly count it. Okay, we've got 25
yeah, I did that too.
plus 10,
Then mess up on purpose.
and we've got 11.
Let
Oh
me
wait, we
start
add a
over.
nickel here, and
And then it's like, oh, you're actually missing 14 cents.
yeah.
I know you got it.
I just have to bust out like a 20 after.
Whenever people are being dicks, I will hold that food. Like, I've literally given away free food and like paid for it myself before. Whenever someone came in like apologetic and stuff, but whenever you're a jerk, you're like, oh, 14 cents, sorry, back on the shelf.
Well,
Be nice
It's like where we're supposed
to people that work with food.
charge for like water because of like the ice or the cup, but we would only charge someone if they were being rude.
Yeah. All right. So, in Vrosa, everyone's a dick. All right. So,
Some of us will fit right in.
how are you two
so I
doing?
guess we're together.
Yeah.
I changed into the dress that I wore for the anointment.
Mm.
I don't know. Everybody was saying you gotta be fancy and stuff, and she's like, "Shit, this is the nicest thing I own."
Should I wear my victory plate or my doublet?
I don't know. That's up to you. I do.
So-
I do have Imris on my shoulder though.
Well, you had Imris on your shoulder, so after you get changed and like, I guess you're like kind of by yourself, right?
Yeah.
You feel Imris is like not a talon, but you just feel like this warm hand on your shoulder.
No.
You look nice, and then you feel like this shadow behind you.
No, it's creepy.
Thank you. It's been a minute.
It has, little bird. And he's sitting cross-legged on the bed. I must admit, of all this disgusting city, this is perhaps the place that offends our patron the least. There's a uniformity to this darkness, this design. Honestly, it's not half bad for what mortals can conjure. I must say, little bird, this place I find repugnant. There's a smell to it, this air of disorder, this feeling of chaos that disgusts me to my very core. I want you to be careful here, little bird. Be careful, for there's an intoxication in chaos that draws you in, and I don't want you getting lost from our deal.
Honestly, I felt uneasy since we set foot here.
Good.
Well, outside of this place. It's amazing.
It
This
is.
particular one.
This is a monument to everything that is abhorrent to our patron. In his eyes, this sort of discord cannot be allowed to exist. If this city meets its end, it would be a boon in the eyes. Places like this are not going to exist in our new world.
I should hope not. we've just walked through. The way they treat people is awful.
There's not true order to the way their guilds function. A true hierarchy has rules, regulations. This is just a mad power struggle. We've seen it where we're from. On everywhere but my lord's dominion. I just came in to check in on you.
Before you go, can I ask you? You wouldn't happen to know anything about the Hands of Kroon?
The Hands of Kroon. You know, little bird, like I said, this place is disgusting. There's a disorder to it. There's something that keeps us out. We wouldn't spy on this place. The Hands of Kroon. If you could catch one and let me talk to him, I might be able to figure something out. But, like I said, it might be difficult. Our connection to this place is already tenuous at best. I had to muster a lot of my strength just to say hello.
I appreciate the effort.
I thought it was worth it. Take care of yourself, little bird. I'm still watching, even if you can't see me.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
As you smile and look down, you look back up and there's just a vulture there. Back in his regular form. And the emissary known as Imerus is gone. And Brooks appears.
Wearing the victory plate. Cordelia, you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, here's the story. So,
Oh, thank God you've got a plan.
okay, so you will be Lady Maltese, a minor house in Arla. I am your bodyguard. Easy.
Okay.
We're in the city just because your family has an interest in magical items, and so we're perusing the shops, trying to find something interesting to bring home.
All right.
Just so we're on the same page. It probably shouldn't come up too much, but just in case.
Right. Okay.
I can do the talking if you want.
This is my mute mistress.
Immediate relief. I mean, if it comes up, I prefer not to, though. Okay, yes, no.
Okay.
All right. How would you like to approach? Whenever you enter the city, it's like I said, it's like the most brilliant, magical town you've ever seen. There are buildings literally built over you. It's like a Dr. Seuss book, the way things are built on top of each other. There's a bookstore right here on top of a wand shop. You can see someone hatching dragons and selling them. Another man has grown octopus arms and he seems to be chopping up street food and selling it as he chops. You see other people with these giant emerald glowing foxes with bright rubies encrusted in their foreheads that are hopping along at their feet. There's all sorts of these sights, but there's this air of this uncomfortable energy. Some people walk through into the shops like you would see in Arla or restaurant, where they go into the shop and they are given immediate customer service, whilst others are simply they walk in and you just see hired bodyguards punch them in the gut and throw them in the street.
Yeet.
I'm not wearing my eye patch, by the way.
Okay.
I'm trying to. If they recognize what it means, maybe it'll add to the
We'll get a discount.
The mystique.
the spook.
Absolutely.
So I think what will be good is if we see some meek-looking people that maybe have some scrolls or some magical items kind of on them to kind of approach them.
Okay. I want you to roll Perception or Society, your choice. The DCs are different for each.
I'll do.
I'll assist if I can.
Can I do
Please
deception
assist.
if I'm using this
Yes, you may.
manufactured
Absolutely.
story? Okay. I'll use a hero point.
Sure.
Probably should save it for later, but that's okay.
21 to assist.
Okay.
30.
Circumstance. 32.
32.
Okay, so great success. You see this human man fumbling, and he's got the scrolls, and he's got one small little stall, like the fruit stands you see. It's got there, and it's got scrolls, it's ink and parchment, and he's scribbling. And there's like some shrieking sisters walk past. He's about to say something, and you see them just go, and he just cowers down. You see someone come by and spit on him, and he's like, "Scribing services, come! I have scrolls for sale, up to 4th level spells. Please, a pittance."
This could be it.
You there? You look like you could use a spell or two. You never know when you're going to need some extra magic. When you're out of mana for the day, it is imperative that you have something on your... Please, a scroll.
My lady does have interest in scrolls.
Oh, a lady. I am humbled to see you. Where do you hail from, my lady?
Check the right. Arla.
Arla. Blessed Arla, my home. I am from Wildwood myself. What province are you from?
That is not important. We're here for magical items.
I have very little...
She's like, I know nothing about Arla.
I have very little by way of magical items, but I am a spell scribe. I have a large repertoire of books, and I can scribe a spell for you.
Well, you were mentioning before how you thought it would be convenient if I had a spell scroll in order to remove my armor into an extra dimensional space.
I think I have, and he starts scrolling through.
Instant armor.
Yes. I learned this one from a hedge wizard in Whitehearth. It would not be a very difficult. What level spell was
that
it?
is.
It was a second level.
Level 2.
I could scribe it within... how long do they take to craft? I can have him do it fast. I don't care. I'm the GM. All right, so...
It could be one that he started
Yeah,
and finished.
he probably has one on stock. I have 3 of those on stock right now. I can sell them to you for 15 gold pieces a piece, and I can scribe more should you need them, and I can give you a discount for a purchase of 5 or more.
15 a piece. That's
pretty good. Yeah.
I think that's worth you.
Yeah.
Book
being
price
able
is
to-
12.
No. I'm just saying, like, for what it does,
Yeah.
for Brooks, it sounds worth
Yeah,
it.
no, for sure.
Look, you're at the movie theater, you're going to pay $10 for a bottle of wine. That's just what it is.
15's he has to have a markup. He has to make a living.
That's make a living. No one else is buying anything. Okay. We can take the 3 for now, and then...
How much for 7 more? An even 10.
And even 10, if you purchase 10, I will give them to you for 10 gold apiece, so a large discount. I'm not going to do the math right now. 100 gold pieces for 10. And I could have the 3 for you now, and I could have the other 7 in 2 hours' time. I'm very fast. I think.
You're writing the same thing over and over. It just gets like
That's acceptable.
Very well.
Just stack them on top and, like, write really hard.
He just makes
and
a
they'll go through.
stamp.
Yeah. I had a stamp for that spell.
Yeah.
He traces.
Okay. And so I will give the 100 gold.
Oh, I was.
So you get 3 now and you get
Yes.
7
It
later.
will look
And
better
I
if
will
do
not
it,
look
I
up the
think.
rules for how long it actually takes to craft because it's going to slow down our
That's fine.
gameplay.
He goes down to the basement. He's just got like an army of
Yeah.
children.
Actually, no, here's what happens. All right, my pretties, get to work. And he shakes his sleeves, and you see 6 mice with little hats on and little quills
They're so
start
cute.
going on top of the paper, and they start rolling around and writing with ink pens, like giant, not ink pens, but giant quills. And they dip and they scroll. 2 of them hold the scroll pages. We're going to eat tonight. We are. And you gave him the 100 gold pieces? He hands over the 3 scrolls of instant armor for you.
And then before we leave, we'll just pick up the other 7.
When he said hedge wizards, he means wizards that live in a hedge.
They're hedgehogs.
Hedgehogs.
It's taking everything in me to continue to pretend to be a bitch.
So like, I must pretend I do not care.
I must pretend they're not adorable.
Amber's eyes them hungry.
Please, if you should need any other scroll services, my name is Bort. I definitely did not just make that up.
Board
Yes, I was born Bort.
of the Boreal
Of-
Valley. I'm in. Okay.
We'll never know the kobold's name.
No, but the Shrieking
The
Sisters.
Shrieking
totally
Sisters
do.
will.
Yeah.
We know your name now.
Ernie, roll D100 for me real quick.
Uh-oh.
No, low percent chance. He's done very well for himself.
44.
Cool.
There are now 44.
There's 44 Shrieking Sisters after you. All right, what else is going on? And why did my music stop?
Now that
Tailing them.
yeah, I am looking to find Wesley also.
You have not seen me since I nudged you and briskly walked away.
Yeah, I imagine we split as I was walking up to the kobold.
Yeah, so he's a ways in front of you. So Wesley, this is simultaneous to all this other stuff. So there's no chance of anyone kind of interceding on this scene.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess as I'm tailing them, I don't want to look like I'm groveling and trying to hide and be
Stealth.
sneaky, but more like,
A blend in.
yeah, like try to blend in with like,
You want to roll performance? You want to roll? What do you want to roll to try and blend in? I'll accept anything.
Like you're walking somewhere.
There
with
is a
purpose.
specific action I think to blend into a crowd for stealth, but I'll let you roll whatever if you can try and justify it to me.
well, I was gonna say like, tail them, like trying to keep like the presence of like not caring what people are in my way, but like try to keep the crowd between us, since I can probably see them over people, but I would be less likely to be seen with my smaller stature. I was trying to like stealth, like hide with the crowd and like kind of,
Okay, you're Assassin's Creed in it.
yeah.
Okay.
So stealth,
They still do that in Assassin's Creed. I haven't played one since like what 2006.
stealth justifiable.
I think stealth is very justifiable here.
Okay, might use a hero point just in
In
case.
fact, that's the only one you don't really have to justify. That's exactly what you had to roll.
It might be worth it just to try and get a little higher. Okay, so that's going to be a 33.
Y'all rolling like you're rolling. You get eerily close, and you see two men. Each of them are wearing this like fur armor that's looked like almost like a hyena armor. It's like this spotted, light red, brown, like almost red with like almost like leopard spots, and it goes into these brown, dark leather pants, curved daggers, wicked looking axes, like mercenaries, but upper tier mercenaries, right? Like some people you wouldn't want to mess with. You see the hands of Kroon walk directly towards them. And you see one of the hands walk forward, and the other one just one stops and like perfectly in sync. The other one just goes rotates like in perfect tandem, rotates around. And as the two guys are walking, they stop and then like turn around and they see the other one. Roll perception, see if you can hear what they say.
I need to see. Ooh, I should have saved that hero point. That's only a 17.
Okay, 17. You hear maned wolves, and then you see them raise their weapons, and one of the hands of Kroon, you watch the hand that's on the chain lift up and curl its fingers, and you watch their weapons catch on fire, and they drop them out of their hands, and you watch the other one wave his hand, and then their arms kind of snap to their side. Then he does like this, and then they kind of flip in tandem, and they start walking back the other way towards you. And you hear, Yeren bids you join him. We have much to discuss. And they start walking to the maned wolves.
Yes.
The hands of Kroon said that. And you can see the maned wolves, their eyes are darkened, their faces are down, and they're struggling. They can't move their arms, they seem to have free will of their legs, and they're just like walking, and they're kind of glancing at each other. And they kind of look at you almost desperately in their eyes to see if like you'll help or something.
I kind of want to like maintain the, the atmosphere, so I sort of just like
Yep.
turn
and they
personally walk.
Yeah, they pay you no attention outside that desperate glance. And the hands of Kroon, they walk with purpose past you, not breaking your legs because you're out of the way, and they walk back in the direction towards where you left Ernie. So Ernie, as you come out of the shop, you don't see Wesley at all, but you do see two hands of Kroon with two members of the maned wolves heading towards you, back towards yeah.
Do I recognize them as being maned wolves?
It's pretty, yeah.
Okay.
It's
But
pretty obvious.
are either of them... I can see that neither
It's
of
just
them are
random
Yaren.
mercenaries.
Okay. I will let them pass me and then follow at a distance.
Okay. At this point, I think you moving a little quickly. Plop, 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 plop. Catch up to Ernie, who's kind of like stealthing in the crowd as well. And you see them walking. So you entered the city from the south side. They were over on the east side. Now they're kind of curving around and they're moving northwest. So they're walking for quite a while. This is like a sort of a 20-minute plus walk right now. And you've just been tailing them. And eventually, during that like 20 minutes, you two have met up.
Do you know where the other two are? Oh, sorry. This is Ernie. Do you know where the other two are?
No, I believe they were out gathering other information. I was on the other side following these two.
Yeah, those two.
They met up with who appear to be the maned wolves.
Yeah,
And
those are.
After disarming them, they said a urine invites them. So I assume they're meeting some higher member soon.
Yeah, Yaren is the leader of the maned wolves.
There's a sound of glass shattering behind you. The maned wolves and the hands of Kroon are getting out of your sight in the distance, and you hear chling, chling, ching, ching, chling,
Oh no!
jingle, jingle, and then you
here.
see,
Oh, fuck. Oh, I gotta get over this.
and about 100 feet behind you, you see the loot goblin coming out of one of the magical item stores.
Thank you very much.
And he turns, and he makes eye contact with y'all.
You fuckers.
Oh, shit. Why are you here?
And he takes the bag, and the loot goblin just starts fucking bolting the opposite direction of the hands of Kroon. He is going the exact opposite direction
This is more important,
that
Wesley.
you guys are going on. All right. At this time, you guys are a little bit about...
I was going to suggest we look for the guild, main guild, and see if we can kind of like look around and see.
Yeah.
So,
we're going that way.
You walk outside and you see two hands of Kroon. You guys are actually closer on that side. You see the hands of Kroon passing you, like, oh, they're right here. We've got to go tell. And you turn and you make Wesley in the crowd, and you find Ernie because he's right next to him. And then 160 feet from you, you see the loot goblin, and he is beginning to go. What does everyone want to
He's
do?
going the
Opposite
way.
direction.
Tell me what
So
you
he's
do,
running
and that,
for- Yeah.
and whatever you do, that's
we're
what's going to determine what you
160
roll
and
for
he's running
initiative.
for the
Are you
room.
ready? Ernie, what are you doing as you see the loot goblin?
I reach into my pocket and I grab a handful of scrap paper and I start reading.
Okay, you're gonna roll Arcana for initiative, or is that you use Deception for trick magic? What do you use for trick magic item?
It's
It's
an Arcana roll.
Arcana for your initiative. Then you,
I think I'm just primed to bolt.
you're rolling athletics for your initiative. Okay. All right, Brooks.
I'm wearing my victory plate. I'm not going to catch this thing, so I might just stick with the...
It's 160 and you have spell, so it's up to you.
Is that like drawing too much attention?
It's up to you.
I feel like it would be, especially because we're right next to the hands.
Yeah, I'm going to maintain my persona and pay no attention.
Deception. Okay.
I am gonna whisper to Brooks. I have some ideas on how to get information from them, but we would need one of them. And I'm gonna turn to follow the hands.
All right. This is a two-person battle. All right.
You guys
Roll
got this.
initiative.
Athletics.
Ooh. And he's leveled up
They're
too.
more capable of dealing with this than we are anyway. So.
I'm just
All right.
scared of flashing magic
30,
right next to the hands.
35 to 30. Loot goblin, baby.
Oh wait, what did I get?
He's gonna get away before we even reach him.
He might.
60 feet
I
away.
got 32.
Okay, well, y'all are in the fight,
yeah.
right? So I'm just going to do this as a separate kind of thing.
Dang. But for
It'll be
some
over
reason, I really
quickly.
didn't-
We're not
All right. What are y'all's
Best I could do
initiatives?
is a reach
25.
chill darkness,
25?
but
22.
That's flashy.
I don't know why I have to write this down. Ernie, and then
Wiz.
Wesley. God, why does your name do that? I keep wanting to call you Frogly. All right.
Probably.
All right.
Blinded.
So he is going to use his first action to. You see this line of houses, sort of like an old west style, like Main Street, where they have the different shops up and down, but with like mishmashed magical shops. You can see there's a shop stall right in front of him. He's going to use his first action to do a goblin hop, and he's going to jump up that 15 feet. And his second action, he's going to do the same thing and get on the rooftop. And then his third action is going to stride 40 feet. So now he's 140 from y'all. He's 140 and he's going north. All right? He doesn't win until he's out of sight from you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Pull up my spyglass. No.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Because the Blue Goblin was 160 from us. How close are they to us?
20 feet. They're right next to you. Oh, them?
He's still
Yeah.
not just
Oh,
about.
they were, how close I said the Blue Goblin was to you guys? 100 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're 100 feet from you.
They're 100 feet? Shit. Then,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna.
Or one, no, they're 60 feet from you. 60, sorry.
Feet.
Yeah.
Could I want to try and haste one of them before we turn.
Okay.
Could I roll perception, I guess, to see where I would fall in initiative?
You can try.
20.
Okay. So that would be last. All right.
Which means you'll be
Ernie,
out of range.
the loot goblin, is now on the roof running, his giant sack of treasures jingling, bulging. You see magical glowings and treasure on the backside of it.
I grab the scrap of papers and I start reading them, and like there's a flare of magical energy as all of them incinerate in my hand as I trick magic item on these spell scraps.
Uh-huh.
But then I point and I say, "Seize him! I claim him!"
What spell did you cast?
Fleet step. I'll be moving very quickly next turn.
Okay. And then your next action, you said, seize him, I claim him.
Yes.
Roll intimidation.
31.
Oh.
You see this group of like 3 wizards that are right beneath the loot goblin look up.
Oh my
They look
gosh.
at you. For the Shrieking Sisters! And you see one like raise his hands and begins to float in the air. Oh shit, okay.
They got this.
All right, Wesley.
I guess I'll run towards an alley, like close to him, like somewhere I can get between some buildings, because I can. For my next 2 actions, I'm going to try and wall jump up to the top because that's something I can.
Yep.
Now.
That's something I can do.
Yahoo! Waha! Whee!
Yeah. So, hop for like the next 2 actions.
Okay, how much distance can you cover?
With a
I would, because if,
I would-
if
I
his
would-
goblin jump, which is not as high as your athletics, he reached it in 2 actions. I think you can get to the top of the buildings in like a hop, like 1 hop.
Boing.
So you can try and close the distance a
One
little
hot this time.
I mean, high jump.
I'm not worried about the high jump. I'm worried about now you're on top of the building with a high jump. How far can you go?
If it only took 1 action, I can sprint 30, well, probably 40 feet after him.
Okay, so he was 160, so he's 120 now.
Yeah.
But it was 1 action and then you sprint, right?
I ran 30 feet, got on top, and then ran 40.
Okay, got it. Okay, sweet. So you're closing the distance. All right. After Wesley's turn, it's going to be the hedge wizard, and he says, "Grant me favor into your guild," and he's going to try and cast a spell.
You got it.
And he is going to successfully cast that spell, and you watch him take his hand, and like all of this lightning energy is phasing around him, and he does his fist, and the fist turns to lightning, and it shoots out.
Wizard cast fist.
And the lightning fist grasps him and then just pulls out at him. It's going to deal some damage. Okay. The first threshold of his loot, you can see the bag begin to rip as the lightning strikes him. He's not stopped, but his threshold is now lowered.
They know better.
All right. All right. The loot goblin.
You're gonna have to maim all of those people that are helping you.
Just give them hand kisses.
Yeah.
All right.
Just take 1 finger each.
Yeah.
He is going to try and get the fuck out of here.
Take your own hand of prune.
All right. He is going to... He's going to jump off of the building. He's going to goblin hop on the other side and be like on the inside circle of like the metropolis. So like he jumped on the inside of the block essentially. Then he's going to use 1 action to sprint. I still see him! And then now that he's obscured, he is going to use his action to hide. Natural 20. Okay.
So we saw him jump into the inner ring.
You know the direction he went. All right, y'all gonna have 1 round to find him. All right, what do y'all guys do?
Okay, so is there a path on the ground to get to where he went?
There is. You just have to go through
All
one.
right,
You have to
well,
go through a building.
Last turn I cast fleet step.
Mm-hmm.
So I am moving 55 feet per action.
Fuck. Okay, so you can get to where he is in 2 actions.
Okay, then I want to use my third action to look for him.
Yeah, so
Okay.
third would be the search action.
Yeah. You're searching versus his stealth roll. Right? Or is it his stealth versus your perception, right? Your
Well, I think
your
I
perception
don't
DC.
know how it is whenever it's an active search.
Hide. Yeah, you're using the seek action.
Yeah.
Like you're using the seek action. So seek.
And then would it just be his?
Is he just trying to hide in a crowd?
No, he's like in. So as you get there, let me describe it to you. There's this whole big crowd. There is a great number of like people, and there are bazaars. There's like mystical turtles walking past. There are random foods and small exotic creatures. There's magical items, armors, wands, staves, all this like big hustle and bustle. But you have the thing that tells you if people are lurking.
I do.
Okay, so I roll a secret roll.
Lord.
You know for sure he's in this crowd in a 60-foot circle around you in this like middle of the market square. Think of a chase scene in a movie where people are running through the market and knocking people over, like the beginning of like the Sherlock Holmes second one, like where they're running through that. So you scan the area for creatures. If you're scanning, you can select a 30-foot cone. So you choose the eastern cone or the western cone to scan.
Eastern cone.
Okay, go for it. And you're gonna roll a secret perception check. I roll for you against his hidden.
Plus
Okay.
14.
If I knew when I ran up that he was hiding in this crowd, rather than perceiving with my third action,
Okay.
I just raise my voice and say, "Where is the goblin?"
Okay.
Someone might have seen
Someone's
that.
And he's just
someone's
sitting
right
here
next to him.
Okay. You see this guy in the crowd, and he's like. And then you see a knife come out and stab that guy.
Don't talk.
And you see that guy fall down dead.
Take his hand.
Okay, but he is now concealed from you, not hidden from you.
Okay.
Okay, he's within your walking distance. 1 action to get to him.
Okay.
All right, it's his turn.
No, it would be me now.
Okay, it's you now.
Okay, so how far is the jump between the rings of buildings?
It's like a 15-foot hop down.
Oh, so he's not like on another rooftop. He's like
No, he's in like a ring of like a bazaar. Sorry, I don't have visuals for this. I didn't
Yeah.
expect a loot goblin in the middle of town.
Yeah, I guess I'll just like jump into like the
Into the crowd.
yeah, like into the middle and like
Let's see if the crowd serve you. Nope, that's that one.
okay. I mean, I was trying to
Yeah.
Smooth.
and then I guess I would seek for next one because I don't know.
Okay, roll
what
for
it
it.
is.
But good luck.
Nope.
Yeah, he
There's a-
36 for his stealth.
Yeah, I rolled a nat 1.
Okay, but he is concealed to you. He's hidden from you. All right, it's his turn. I'm not getting out, am I? Fuck it. He's gonna scuttle over
Well, I
to
did have
Ernie.
one more action. I wanted to
Okay.
position myself to, I guess, like am I aware of Ernie's positioning?
Yes,
I would like any obvious exit opposite.
because you're on the eastern exit now. Okay, I like it. Ernie, you see him just scuttle towards you, the bag in one hand, and he's got like a dirty knife in the other one. Fuck it, and he's gonna he runs straight for you, and he's gonna go ahead and try and slice you.
This has never happened before.
He's stronger now.
21 versus AC.
No.
And then as he misses, he's gonna like duck down and like brace it up and try and strike you in the chin. That is gonna be 26 versus AC.
I dodge out of the way.
Fuck. Fuck.
He's trying to get you. All right. That's it for his turn. It's Ernie's turn.
Okay.
He's right in front of you.
Yeah.
He's right here. I
Come
didn't
on,
expect
sister,
him.
show us what you got.
Yeah.
Ernie, can you mute my mic for a second? While y'all are fighting, I'm going to use.
Go for it. So, I am going to. Fuck. Okay.
What you got? He's right next to you.
Yeah. I don't have any way to make him flat-footed to me. I don't think.
Scare him.
I can do the thing. I'm not gonna do the thing. All right. Pull my dagger out. That's still covered in kobold blood.
Oh shit.
And I'm going to try to stab him first.
Okay, go for it.
Stab him in the backpack.
Yeah, stab his backpack.
26 to hit.
Does not hit.
Wow.
He
Okay.
rolls out of the way, and the knife just misses. Oh, crafty fucker, aren't you?
Oh, Nick's out.
Yeah, he is. Okay. What other spells do I have available? All right. I'm gonna try a stab again. That was a bad roll.
Okay, go for it.
Maybe the second time does better. Nope, it does not.
Okay, he moves out of the way. Third action.
Third action. Do I have anything special I can do here? Third action, I pull a pair of handcuffs out of my pocket.
Okay. Does that have the move trait manipulate whenever you pull something out?
Yeah, I think that takes my action.
Okay, and if it's a move, I use it. Well, no, that doesn't really count. Okay, your turn.
I see he's engaged with Ernie, so I'll sprint over with one action.
Okay, when you end your turn near him, he's going to use his panic scuttle. He's going to move 40 feet towards the other exit.
I'll use my reaction to.
You can try and smack him. If you get a crit, he stops.
That's going to be. It's not going to be a crit, but it's I think 35.
35 is so close to a crit. So close to a crit.
Could he have come into a situation where we're flanking?
I think we were flanking as he's moving.
Correct, because you said you moved on the opposite side of. So you would have.
Was
You
that a
crit.
Okay.
You crit.
So
That's only fair.
that's a crit.
The way y'all described it and set it up.
I mean, that means he's bleeding.
Okay.
And
Shit.
this is
My loot goblin.
2d6 plus.
The crowd has like moved back, by the way, because they see a shriek.
Max damage.
Oh fuck! They see a shrieking sister, so
So-
they're not gonna get involved and get the money or
12 plus 10
the loot.
times 2 is 44.
the first threshold is broken. You see this golden
Like a loot box.
loot box fly out and land. Roll a d12. This is for you.
Okay.
Show me a D12.
12.
You get 100 gold pieces, and you get a level 5 permanent item.
120 or 100 gold.
100 gold pieces, and I'm gonna highlight that one because that loot needs replaced now.
All right, so that was my reaction to strike.
Oh shit!
Seeing him get such a sweet hit on the
You're
goblet,
gonna also-
I also stab.
Okay, go for it. He hasn't hit his second threshold yet.
Ah, fuck. I'm gonna hero point.
Might as well.
Does a 27 hit his flat-footed?
It does. His AC is 27.
I'm hoping I can hit with this next attack. Because I do have my penalty.
23 points of damage.
Okay, he's not at his second threshold yet, but he is hurting. The bag is tearing. You see the loot just falling out. He is injured.
Yeah, so like I like drew his attention with that, and then I like my shield gleams and I smack him across the
Oh
face with
shit!
it.
With the shield badge,
So
with your new shield.
let's hope it hits. That cocked. No, that's not gonna do it. That's only a 21.
Yeah, you're looking for a 25. Sorry.
It was a 9.
He just rolls out of the way.
Yep, that's
it?
Yep.
All right. He is going to stride 3 times. He uses 40 feet of movement to get to the edge of the eastern exit. He goes into one of the buildings, like a saloon-style building, and once he gets inside that building, he strides again, but he's completely obscured from your vision. All right. Your turn, Ernie.
He went how far away is the building, you said?
40 feet, so it's 40 feet to get there, and then he went into the building. You don't know how far he went, and then from there you have no idea where he went.
Okay, I run to the building with my first action.
Okay, with your first action, I'll say with 15 feet of movement, you can see in. It is a building, and the buildings have these like saloon doors that lead into other buildings, like a strip mall kind of deal, but they have access to other shops, sort of an open face kind of deal, where all the fronts are open, but it leads into other pathways. So you can see for sure he did not run to the street. He did not go right. So either he went straight ahead because the buildings are on a curve in a circle, so he could be straight down, or he went left. You kind of have to make a choice here.
All right, is there anyone in the building?
There is a man who's holding a thread and needle. He's working on this cap.
Where is he?
Roll intimidation. that man.
Where's Rachel?
Stored information.
21.
21. I didn't see anything. You are wearing a Shrieking Sisters. I'm sorry, I didn't see anything. A little less indignant with that.
Just search yourself.
so you could drop any like coins along the way.
He is bleeding. He took 6 bleed
He
damage.
is bleeding. Oh, he took 6 bleed damage? What was your total? It was 6 and...
I did 44 damage and then 6.
10, and you did...
23, I think.
I did 23-ish.
Okay. He's not in his threshold, but it's going to be very funny in a second. All right, Ernie.
Okay, so I am going to. All right, so
like
I
a
ran
loot
in
box
there
opening
and
in the
had
corner.
movements better. I'm gonna take an action to like look for blood trails.
Okay, you're going to roll perception. It's going to be tough because he's
fast.
fast.
28.
He went directly forward.
Okay, I'm gonna use my third action to run full speed that
As
way.
you run full speed, you meet him. How?
I will end you.
He's going to use his reaction. Now, since he has that back, he's going to use his reaction to move 40 feet forward again.
I use my reaction to follow him.
You can do that shit?
I have reactive pursuit.
You ain't getting away. He looks defeated.
I'm not stuck in the shop
He
with
stops
you.
for a second. And he's bleeding. He's absolutely bleeding. So as the blood hits him and he takes roll d6. This is important.
That's a D8.
Or d8, shit.
It was only 1.
There was 1.
Yeah, because it hit my other die.
As he's bleeding, he's like, clearly, I'm not getting away this time. So, how's about I just let you grab something from the sack and we can stop beating me like a piece of meat? Sound fair?
It's so much fun.
It is fun.
I can see that.
Give me the good one.
Roll intimidation.
Oh.
34.
Good one.
All right. He like pulls out this platinum orb and it rolls over to you. All right. 55 gold pieces and add a level 8 permanent to your inventory. And then he's like, "May I go now, please?"
He's like,
He's one stab away.
Yeah. Can I go now?
He's one stab away from the next
I
threshold, though.
like nod.
As he goes, roll d8 one last time.
Ooh.
3.
3, not enough. You were 2 damage away. I'm so sorry. He bleeds and then he stops. Not this time.
She's like,
Don't let him go. He's already gone.
yeah.
All right, and enjoy your loot for the loot goblin. So as that madness ensued, and y'all are free to gift
We
those.
just like see
or
them
use
run
those.
away.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
I'm sure they've got it.
We'll get to you guys right after our break. We will be right back with some more Windfall. We will be right back, y'all. Don't go anywhere. About 10 minutes for us to take a little break, and we'll be back here. All right, y'all.
Bye.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to
All right.
us and
Welcome.
to you.
Yes, welcome back to everyone. Thank you everyone that was here or anyone that's joining us after the break. Thank you for letting us have a little break. I know we didn't take one for like the last 2 weeks because it got so heavy, but luckily that loot goblin was a little reprieve from the seriousness of this mission here. I did forget at the beginning of this episode because I'm a terrible human being, but thank you Californians for composing our theme song, which you just heard twice in a row, and I'm sure you stayed for that jam because it's so fucking good. So thank you Californians for making that theme song for us. I always appreciate it, love it every time I hear it. It makes me very happy. All right, so back to where we are in Vrosa, the city of spells, the hands of Kroon, the sort of strange hand-wearing chronomancers that the party is chasing are...
They're here.
They're here. Holy shit.
They're here.
It's going to be really weird on the VOD when you can't hear that.
Right.
It was a motorcycle, but it looked like it sounded like there was a whale outside my house going... I cannot be more accurate than that.
That's very accurate.
All right. So, the hands of Kroon pass you. You see Wesley and Ernie take off after the loot goblin. You're like, they've got it. And you turn
We
to
have all the
follow.
confidence in them.
You see the hands of Kroon, their metallic sheen to their robes, this white to charcoal gray sort of ombre fade. The chain around their neck holding a rotted hand, their own severed hand, their wizened beards and their dark circled eyes, heading with purpose with 2 of the mercenaries, the main wolves, in tow between them. And they go to a compound. You walk for a while. It's a several hours walk.
Oh.
In several
Okay, John.
hours, in several hours' time, I want you guys just to roll a perception check. It is going to be hard because the city is madness, and you are disguised as a shrieking sister that has repercussions. I want you both to roll to see if you can catch up to them.
What are we rolling?
I am wearing my armor.
Uh-huh.
Perception's what you want?
Uh-huh.
I'm quite tall and I've got a bearded vulture on my
that's
shoulder.
I'm just not out of place in this area.
24.
24?
26.
26. I will say that
Let me roll a stealth check to see if they find me.
you lose. You do not catch up to them. It takes you an hour, and you're like falling around, and it takes you 2 hours, and you find them eventually, but you do not witness any of the falling that happens. You get lost in the city.
Got it.
Okay?
Don't die.
All right.
Secrets.
Hey, thank you so much for donating to the Horror Games October Challenge.
Ooh, spooky game.
Spooky games coming, please. If you guys want to see me play some spooky games, donate to that challenge because I am very scared and I will freak out. So we'll play Dread. I think this crew or me with chat will play some Dread, and then I'll also play some spooky video games recommended to the Discord. Thank you again for the contributions. The Hands of Kroon go up towards what you assume to be their section of the town. It's strange. There's an order to their buildings that the rest of Rosa do not match. There's a symmetry to the buildings, and an order, a placement that the rest of Rosa doesn't have. The chaos and the color seem to fade away into this monochromatic, sort of ordered and structured system of houses and buildings. You can see the lesser guilds that belong to them, sort of on the outskirts, selling, trading, but they all make way as these Hands of Kroon come by. They walk up to two great statues. Each statue, with one hand, is holding a great halberd and blocks the gate to this walled estate. And you can see it's this sort of like kind of ugly, overgrown bush that's like dying on the edges. You can see the wilting on the edges with thorns all around the edges of that and some down on the inside and the front of it. So not a really pretty decor. But the two great statues that have the hands carved on them, they look like the Hands of Kroon themselves, and they sort of eyes glow as they come within range of the Hands of Kroon. I want you to roll perception to see if you can hear what they say.
You're better at this than me,
feet
right?
to read lips.
Perception?
I would
Oh.
say.
I don't think you'd be able to read the lips because they'd be
29?
like,
Oh, they're facing
29?
27.
This, I will say the 27 and 29 are just enough to hit it. You did not hit the 30, so you cannot hear the response. But you do hear the call sign. The statue speaks. What is greater than time? And then you hear just the mumble of the Hands of Kroon answer. And you see the halberds part. As you peek in with your high perception, you can see the courtyard. There is no mansion. There is no guild hall. There is no building. You don't see a barracks, an outhouse. You don't see a mansion like you did at the Ebony Hall. There is a big patch of dirt with the thorns and stuff around it. And in the center, there is 2001 Space Odyssey-esque. There's a giant silver box. That's it.
The time box.
That's it. It's a giant silver box. And then the halberds close again, closing off your sight and entrance to the compound. You can see patrolling with your high perception. I'm just going to give you this. You can see they do have a guard on patrol, a Hand of Kroon. Old looking. He has spots under his eyes, wrinkles, big dark circles. He seems very alert, however, and he seems to be armed like a battle mage. You can see this staff with a hardened knob at the end that's shaped like a balled fist, and his hand is like rotting around and his chain hanging on his robes. And in tow, you hear and every so often you see these pink and white and like almost like scarlet sort of like flashes, these like metallic red and pinkish flashes, and you'll see these great beasts appear next to him. They appear to be dogs with very short fur or no fur at all, and they are shaped like hounds with long snouts and very, very keen eyes as they look around, and you see them blinking in and out of existence. It seems to be just the one guard and his dogs.
Did you catch what he said?
I didn't hear the response, no, but I heard what they said.
What is greater than time?
I think I said that. It's supposed to be what is beyond time is the call
Beyond
sign.
time.
It's beyond.
I done fucked up.
What is beyond
Mm.
time?
Yeah, I didn't mean to say greater than. I was just nervous.
What is less than or equal to time?
Oh god, I'm not good at math.
It's-
Well, in the meantime, I'm gonna cast my spell.
Which is?
Instant armor.
Okay, so you cast your spell and your armor disappears. Okay, and you can recall it as an action, donning it once again.
That's for 24 hours.
For 24 hours.
So now that time is up, about 2 hours later, you guys see these two talking sort of in a corner, and you manage to catch up to them.
What's the plan? Sorry.
This is Ernie.
Hey, yeah.
Oh.
Ernie,
We saw you put the makeup on.
as you've been walking up, the farther northwest you go, the more and more stares you are getting. The more and more people are lingering and looking. They still dart away when you look at them, but you notice the closer you get to this compound, the more confidently people stare. You see people whispering. You see some people like motioning over.
Wesley, I think I'm outside of my territory.
Yeah, I hope they don't think this is some sort of threat.
Or, that's exactly. Hold on, I'll be right back. I just go to the middle of the road, and I take a dagger.
The bloody one.
No, that's my nice one. I take a dagger, and I just like stick it into the ground, and then I walk to an alley and take this disguise off.
An act of war.
You are going to face consequences for your actions.
I'm
sir.
sure the Shrieking
Someone
Sisters will.
Yeah.
It goes silent. Every humanoid, everybody, every sort of side of life you see disappears. When that dagger hits the dirt, it grows eerily quiet.
Quick, let's join him in that alley.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we see this happening? Should we just?
Yeah, you see him do that.
Perhaps we should loop around from a different direction.
Yeah. Let's scatter.
Yeah, I think we all try to dip and reconvene in
Yeah.
I got my fairy, my mutton chops come back out.
What did he just do?
Put my hat back on.
The disguise is thoroughly extinguished.
I don't. So that's gonna get bad at some point
For someone.
for
It
somebody.
looked like it got bad.
It
Right
might-
away.
Almost immediately.
Almost immediately.
The Shrieking Sisters go just like, what the fuck is going on?
Buying wands, making threats.
But like, if the hands of Kroon have to retaliate, some of them are gonna leave in just a little bit. So maybe we just like
It could give us the distraction we need.
we just hide here and wait for a second.
Do they even need to leave in order to retaliate?
I mean,
Do you,
that is an excellent question.
Do you think they'll be able to
Their time they've
trace
already
that dagger back
retaliated.
to you?
Look, if they could taste it, track it back to me, I'd already be dead. They're time wizards. They would have killed me yesterday.
We were able to hear a call sign at the front that said, "What is beyond time?"
Yes.
We
not-
didn't hear the answer though.
What is beyond time?
Would it be?
We don't know. We're not time
Would it be
magicians.
Crow? Is that too on the nose?
Who is Kroon? Is Kroon like a name that any of us recognize?
None of y'all have rolled anything about Kroon so far.
Do I know the name Kroon?
No.
Okay.
You could roll for it.
Okay.
Um,
What kind of role is that?
Arcana, religion, your choice.
I don't know anything about Crow.
I'll try Arcana. He sounds magic-y.
yeah.
They are a group of wizards.
I rolled a nat 20
Oh, shoot.
for 34.
I didn't. I rolled 18.
Okay, you have not heard of it.
Mm.
You have heard of Kroon, and you don't exactly know who Kroon is, but you know that people who worship Kroon where you were from were sought out and taken away, just like your people were. It is one of the false gods, probably one of the pagan gods that Starhill does not allow. You know that Kroon is about renewal and the belief that the world cannot be like saved in a way that, like, you know how like a supervillain will be like, I must remake this world, and then like I have to kill everyone so the planet can heal or whatever. Kroon does not believe that. Kroon straight up believes like no matter what you do, that the world, Asteria, has already messed up too much, to continue, and they want to literally reset the timeline. Literally go back and start fresh from creation.
Makes sense why they would want to be involved with anyone
Yeah, I
dealing
would-
with the Eternal One.
Let the group know about that.
Huh.
So, you know, something tells me that
They want to start over.
I gotta tell y'all, people are real scared of them Shrieking Sisters. It is pretty fucked up what they do. People kept asking me to cut things off them.
Well,
I mean, if they all go around wearing masks like that one you found.
I'm gonna be honest, I get why Kai carries his around now. People treat you with respect.
Is it respect, though?
The halberds open up.
Here it is.
You watch as 4 hands of Kroon, the decayed hands around them, all walk in unison, carrying great staves, like these pillaring things with like sort of like bells at the top, these big towering metal things that are sort of chiming gently as they walk. As they step, you hear screaming from behind you.
Please, end this one's suffering.
You see these 3 women. They you cannot tell what race they are. They are all of various sizes and shapes. They all have the same motif. They can see cuts and bruises, bleeding scars, festering wounds of their arms and legs of those that are exposed. They have scarlet tabards and long, dark crimson cloth, and you can see these sort of red thorns wrapped around them, which are almost certainly Shrieking Sisters. Up on a pole, you can see one of them carrying a great wooden sort of like pike, and tied to it and cut open in the wrists and like stabbed together. You can see a kobold on this, and you can see the Shrieking Sisters walk up to the center. I need everyone to roll stealth, please.
seeing that, I am gonna go ahead and cast Cloak of Shadows on Brooks.
oh, I'm not wearing my armor. That means I don't have a penalty. What does that do?
So the target can use the concealed condition to gain height from shadows to gain hide.
What does that do?
So you essentially just kind of melt into the shadows
Okay.
and become completely undetectable.
Oh,
So, does it give me a bonus, or I'm just hidden?
Originally. I think they keep that.
I think it just gives you the hidden condition. I think it makes it more difficult for people to see you.
Let's
then
go
I'll-
here.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
I used one.
Another natural
It happened again.
Nice.
We need those.
Natural 20 for a 40.
Oh.
And don't forget that you have your hero points after the break.
25.
25?
15 plus 23? And I'm hidden or whatever.
Yeah, nat 20 for 33.
Hot damn. No one notices you, and you're close enough to sort of hear the conversation. Shrieking Sisters, explain this declaration. And he like waves his finger and he points. Not one of ours. And Ernie like, oh damn, I got the voice pretty good.
I fucking nailed it.
Not one of ours. The kobold speaks. And you see her pull a string and it opens his jaw.
Speak what you have said. Please, I serve the Shrieking Sisters. I gave you a wand No!
And she pulls it, and you can see a bit of his chin tear off from the skin tearing. Blood just splatters all over the ground.
He speaks lies. None of the sisters purchased from this inferior kobold. He will be punished for even assuming we would patronize him. One walks in the guise of our guild. We greatly regret this insult to you, Hands of Kroon, and propose a union. Seek the one who holds falsehoods, who aim to turn us against you, and may we curse him together.
The Hands of Kroon find this acceptable. The structure, the integrity of the guilds must be maintained.
Then this pact is sealed. Let us use the dagger.
And the dagger rises up. Ernie, is this a dagger that personally belonged to you? Has he had it on his person?
I have had it on my person
For how long?
For a while.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. The dagger rises and dematerializes into dust as their hands close. And you watch as
This is gonna get bad real soon.
the dust culminates around their hands.
May he find pain where he goes.
And then they part ways.
Well, great. New curse time.
Do y'all think I should light a building on fire?
So as Ernie says that, you guys turn towards Ernie. You see there's a hand on him. Ernie, you don't feel anything. You see a skeletal hand and a large gray cloth floating in the wind, half of a body ethereally behind him, holding a scythe on his shoulder.
Ernie, I think you're haunted.
Not again.
Ernie, you have this terrible feeling that you're being watched, but no matter how hard you look or turn, you cannot see anything behind you. The rest of you see, quite literally, the Grim Reaper above Ernie, raising his scythe, just casually, not like aggressively, just seem to be waiting for something. Okay.
Just waiting for him to die.
Let me dagger remove from inventory.
Cordelia, are you good with
You got away with a lot. I think this is fair from what you just did.
Hey Brooks, you got a dagger I can borrow?
I don't
No.
know if it's a spell or a curse. That is something.
What is?
It's probably best you can't see it.
You can see it as Ernie turns and just like runs his hand
Feel like
and
I
like
can-
grips at his shirt.
If I turn real fast, I feel like I can see it just a little bit.
I don't think.
Always the scythe is just suspended. It's really unsettling for you as his partners just to see it's just there, suspended.
Rub my coin of comfort
Do you feel comforted?
a little bit.
Just because I'm a little scared it's gonna do something if I try to undo something. When I cast Detect Magic, does the being light up? Can I?
He's magical. It's definitely a magical man. A magical little Grim Reaper there.
Magical little man. All right. Well, like I said, I can try two things. I don't know if either will work. Or if it'll make it worse.
Oh, I meant to say, I'm so sorry. You is a little bit different how the spell usually works. You instinctively know which action will trigger this thing to attack you.
Oh.
It's set to curse you for a single thing. If you use any skill or skill action involving stealth, this
So they're trying to stop
it will
you from being
trigger.
sneaky.
Okay. Guys, I get the feeling that if I hide, it will attack me.
Try it
But
out.
if you don't hide,
I was
all of them. will
Okay,
attack you.
here's the thing. I hid already before they did this to me.
So just stay here.
I have to stay here forever. I can't move.
Not allowed to move. No, here, let me try. And I'm gonna try to remove.
Do we have a means of identifying this?
That's what I tried to do with Detect Magic. Did
What does
it?
Detect Magic tell you
identify
what?
At
Let's
this
see. Let's see.
level,
Let's
I
see.
think just the school. and
I
then-
learned the school.
Divination.
Yeah. If multiple effects, I learned which one's the strongest. I don't think we have a fourth yet.
Yeah, because we have 4th level spells.
Oh, we do.
Does it have an effect at 4th level?
Let's see. Yeah. I can also pinpoint the source of the highest level magic for an imprecise sense. I don't learn the
The
exact
source of the
location.
highest level magic was that guy.
that
Yeah.
fucking guy that just cast that.
Yeah.
Never gonna get that dagger back. It
Okay.
cost a
You learn the
gold
school
piece.
of magic,
But not really much else,
but I haven't seen anything look more like a curse than this in my entire life.
right? So, oh god, do we want to try
This
this?
is worse than when I'm playing cards and I keep getting bad ones. It's a worse curse than that.
I could try. Let me see if this would help. Attack rolls.
I really gotta start
I'm
buying
just-
daggers from other people.
just some throwaway ones. Cycle through them. Or just don't declare war in the middle of the street.
I didn't think it through.
Yeah, if you had ran it by any of us, I'm pretty sure we would have told you not to.
It was awesome.
It seemed like a really good plan
It
for
wasn't,
that
though.
one moment.
It was, I think.
Yeah, but those in power wish to stay in power.
I feel bad about that kobold. I didn't even learn his name.
Maybe for the
I
best.
didn't even pay for one of the wands.
Oh,
Like you've gotten away with a lot, but I'm like they're one of the strongest guilds. Like they're gonna realize if someone's using their shit. Like they're gonna know.
I still
yeah, I'm
Still
gonna
got some
I
profits.
think we have to try it.
go ahead and try remove curse.
Okay, read remove curse for me.
Your touch grants a reprieve to a cursed creature. You attempt to counteract one curse afflicting the target if the curse comes from a cursed item or external source, or other external source. A success indicates that the target creature can rid itself of the cursed item, but it doesn't remove the curse from the item.
He is not cursed. Oh, I'm so sorry. He is cursed. That is definitely has a curse
Okay.
tag. I only saw divination, mental.
I was like, son
What
of a
if,
bitch.
Alright, so
counteract,
give-
because
give-
it'll
give me a
be
second.
based on the spell level.
Correct. So it has a counteract. Let me see here. So you're trying to counteract. So you need to roll, I believe. Counteracting. Oh my god, I got rules to look up.
If anyone's in chat
don't-
watching, just give Cordelia a hero point. I'll get you back on it.
I've got two.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna.
All right, when
I'm
attempting
definitely
a
using one.
counteract check, add the relevant skill modifier against the target's DC. Okay.
Am I the target?
No,
No.
it's the
Oh,
guy
it's
that
their-
casts the
it's
spell.
It's the guy who
Spell
casts
DC.
the spell.
I knew the answer to that. I was just
don't-
hopeful.
I don't think I can break this curse.
No, you're good.
I mean, it's nat 20 will do it. So,
Wait. I'm not 20.
I've already rolled two of those. I'm tapped out.
What's
and your
her-
effect's counteract level is level 4. So you need a critical success. You have to crit.
Okay.
You have to crit.
And what am I adding to it?
Your skill modifier or appropriate modifier check. So, what's your spell casting modifier? Intelligence, charisma.
It's
It's your DC minus
intelligence.
10, right? Oh, wait, no, never mind. Just the modifier would be
I was gonna say for
intelligence.
my attack modifier is plus 16.
No, not your. Yeah. If the count is your spellcasting ability modifier plus your spellcaster proficiency bonus. So,
Oh, so it would be equal to your attack
yeah.
modifier.
So
Okay.
plus 16. So you're rolling plus 16.
Oh
So
Lord,
good.
Lord help me.
Okay,
Hero
so not that one.
point. That's cocked. I feel like that's cocked, right?
Is it cocked? I can't see.
It's like on the side. I can't tell if it's supposed to be a 7 or a 17.
I will judge. I will look.
Because it's like
Oh,
proper.
that's not cocked at all. That's so 7 right now.
Okay.
So 7.
It's like 90% on 7.
Okay, okay. Well, that's why I didn't touch
Well,
it.
rip Ernie.
It's
23.
23.
23. So that is a
Am I cured?
failure, so you would only be able to cure a 4th level or lower. The counteract does not work. The spell is too strong. You feel, as you use Remove Curse, the spell would work, and you feel the remove coming, and you watch as the sort of Grim Reaper-esque thing on Ernie's shoulder looks at you and goes, and your spell dies in your hand.
Thanks. I do feel better.
And then
I
it
got
takes the scythe and just runs it along Ernie's cheek.
Okay, now she's taunting us.
That was the spell leaving me. All right. Should I hide?
No. We all still see it. No.
No.
Okay.
Is it worth trying again?
I can try it again tomorrow.
Oh no.
I only have one of them prepared today.
So don't sneak
Don't do anything.
for a whole day.
I can't sneak on the break into the building.
Hey, you did this.
Okay, well,
You're naturally pretty stealthy. Maybe you don't have to sneak.
What if
I feel like we might
turned
run
him
into-
really small?
oh,
Put him in a pocket.
okay. I reach into my pocket and I start reading scraps of paper.
What?
Okay.
And
And
I'm tiny. I shrink.
okay.
I cast shrink.
Okay.
Let's
Now,
go.
if someone else tries to hide him,
I'm not hiding.
like someone would be concealing an object, not.
You guys are doing the most. Well, technically,
No,
not
I was
sneak.
like,
We have to.
would
You
it
guys
work?
are like,
would it work? I don't know. I mean,
All right, hang on. How small do you get with that spell?
I'm tiny.
the tiny size.
How big is tiny?
Tiny.
Y'all make me look up so many fucking rules.
It's
Wait.
Pathfinder.
Can
I-
you, can
what
you
you do.
ride Emirates?
Tiny, you are less than 5 feet.
I was already that.
That's it.
Well, I would imagine he's what, like
Okay.
a foot or less.
You are not like
You're like a child.
you're like
I mean, I was small. Now I'm tiny.
okay. You were here. You were the size of this speaker.
Let's fucking go.
This is the size. This is the
you
size.
could ride Emirates.
Is he that wide?
Drop me in.
Yeah. So he's like a little fish. So you would toss him back. He's like a little.
Toss me.
You know, I expected the ghost to get smaller too.
Yeah.
He's like cradling him now.
Do you think?
Wait, I don't have to be stealthy. Start applying. Actually, I start making my hair grow until I look like a big rat.
Oh my god!
Well,
What is this shit?
just kind of slink around the corners.
I start and running up. This doesn't last very long.
Oh shit! Are y'all going up to
I'm glad we
the
use it
compound?
now.
What is happening?
We can't just sit here and talk for an hour. Let's go.
We're going in your cut.
Is it even nighttime?
So no, it's not. It is not nighttime.
Not nighttime.
Ernie, we weren't ready. No.
Okay.
Whenever you guys got here,
I pick Ernie up by
it
his
was
little
like
scruff and pull him back.
morning, and now it's like 3 p.m. right now.
A lot has happened this day.
Ernest, I appreciate
And
your
don't forget-
enthusiasm, but
Days are also longer in Asteria. There's like 2 extra hours of time, so yeah.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I really don't think that's the best idea right now.
Okay. I
What
really am
if-
not in a position to argue with you right now.
So. No, it's a terrible idea.
Should we now wait until tomorrow?
Or we could toss me
Toss you where?
onto the roof.
It's not that tall. It's like a 12-foot wall. What?
I was gonna say, like,
There's a,
is it like
there's a
obscured?
guard patrolling.
Oh wait, yeah, there's a guard.
Oh yeah, there's some
Y'all would've
dogs.
told me so
We could
already.
kill the dogs.
Dogs. Oh dear.
I wouldn't want to do that then.
Maybe you don't notice. You're just like, huh?
We're running late tonight. I'm just hoping no one has anything to do tonight.
Well,
Do you think this thing will just?
hit him once or
Yeah, and then go away. Cause like we could just let it do that. And resuscitate.
Sackstrat?
Did you just say resuscitate me?
I don't know if you'll survive it.
Yeah. It's kind of a big risk.
Look.
Just take the hit.
I understand that I can heal people, but I can't bring him back to life.
Y'all think I'm gonna die? I can't see what he looks.
You're full size again.
Yeah.
Just still look very hairy.
It only lasts 5 minutes.
Well, I'm glad we were able to test that out.
No, he looks like a Grim Reaper. And he shushed me when I tried to remove the curse.
It was very
very rude.
condescending.
Sounds
yeah.
kind of it sounds kind of patronizing.
He's an asshole.
He doesn't like. Okay.
I will try again in the morning.
Should I try to hide just to see how much I die?
I was saying that's a bad idea.
Because we don't have any means to.
Yes,
If
Maybe-
you survive,
What if I hide just a little bit? Like just the tip.
do you think he'll kill you just a little bit?
What if we ask our patron guild? Maybe they'll have something that can help us.
Yes,
I feel like walking in this, like, we can
Oh.
see this. Anyone could probably see this. I think Ernie's stuck in this alley.
Which means who could see it?
Anybody.
I hadn't considered that. Maybe
yes,
I
and
should.
you know, when you shrunk, it didn't get any smaller.
Maybe
so
I
there's
should
no-
dress like a little old lady, and they'll just be like, "Well, it's her time."
Does that count? Does that count as being sneaky?
No,
No.
that is legally distinct. That's deception. That's a different.
It is. It is.
That's
Okay,
a different
correct.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Something tells me they've got eyes all over the city, looking out for exactly that.
Okay, I'm putting it all together. How fucked I am.
Yeah.
The Grim Reaper starts to stroke Ernie's hair, like
What
right
if
here.
we say we found Ernie and wish to?
What, you're gonna turn me in?
It'll get us in.
Well, it would get us
Maybe.
in.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, and then we could revisit the resuscitate plan. We're gonna need that one. Wait, no, sorry, because when we got sent on this mission, the nice lady, terrifying lady, said you could die or worse. Do you remember that little
I do now.
parenthetical?
I think I kind of blinked that out. That's horrifying.
Yeah. This is worse. We have entered or worse territory.
Well, yes, I suppose they wouldn't. They'd probably turn you over to the Shrieking Sisters. They wouldn't bring you into the hands of Kroon. I was going to say, if
They
we
are
did,
way scarier.
if we did turn you in, maybe you would end up in the same, I don't know, holding cell as.
Yeah, here, let's store them next
But-
to the phylactery. They store
No.
part of me there.
No, stop.
Any percent speed run.
Next to the person we're looking for is what I'm getting at.
Oh.
But the chances are they would just immediately turn you over to the sisters.
That makes more sense. They got here quick.
They'd probably like take my hand and give the rest of me to the sisters.
Do they even want other people?
I can't lose another hand. Sorry, I was referring to a previous character for a second there.
Popular motif.
That's funny because that was also a situation you got yourself into.
Okay. I could disguise myself as. Nope, I forgot. They'll still see the thing. I could disguise the guy. Nope, that's
No.
not real.
We may just
Put
have
makeup
to,
on the Grim Reaper.
We may just have to wait until nightfall then before we do anything else.
I certainly hope he doesn't glow.
Well, like a sickly green aura.
Just we were being like, it's him. It's him all along.
Are we really just planning to like barge in there in the middle of the night?
Does this
Well,
building
Is that,
have
is that the
like
best plan we've got?
windows or anything? Like it's a secure bunker. Like what are we looking at while we're hiding in this alley?
I mean, the best Brooks and I saw when we were observing things is the one guard patrolling, but he's got.
That's really weird. They don't usually hang out in odd numbers. Or maybe that's only when they leave.
How many dogs are there?
It
Three?
was hard
That's
You
four.
saw
to tell.
you saw one dog, but
Yeah,
like
just
it
one, but
could
we
be
saw it multiple
it could have been
times.
100 of them blinking in and out.
It was really hard to tell. They kept blinking.
So you're saying if we see one guard, there's probably a second?
I mean,
Unless the dog counts. Is he a member?
did he have all his hands?
Oh shit.
Best
Oh.
I could tell.
The guard had a hand.
He had his
Yeah.
hand chopped off. Yeah,
Also, remember.
Did the dog have all their paws?
the dog did that they saw.
Also, remember the thing where they were like, the older they are, the more powerful they are. He was pretty old looking.
Liver spots.
Okay.
According
How
to
old's the
description.
Grim Reaper?
Infinite.
He's like-
Skeletal.
Oh, would you say that he's beyond time?
We do gotta think. I think we should wait until nightfall. We can think about this riddle. My My snap decision guess would be the beginning because they want to start over.
The beginning is beyond time.
Because once it's done, they can start over, right? But
What if it's something like the letter T?
time,
Elaborate.
like time starts again.
Yeah.
Like the word time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put a pin in that one.
I have so many tools that are good at sneaking, guys.
Well, look, are y'all really gonna burn 5 hours in this alley?
I can't leave.
I tried to run in. I got picked up.
All right.
If
Well, here's the thing.
well, he said he knows what would cause it to attack him.
If he makes any skill action or any skill check that has a stealth tag to it.
And if we wait here, he's probably gonna have to hide.
Yeah, so people are going to start coming back out and doing the nightlife thing. And if you're not actively stealthing, then you are just standing in an alley.
If I made you invisible, since I'm doing it to you, do you feel like that would affect you?
I feel like it might.
If you just walk normally, like, I'm not hiding, I'm just invisible.
I feel like I'd probably be hiding.
Not my own free will. Okay.
That's the ghost.
I think the best thing I could do is disguise myself.
But as we've said,
You can't disguise the Reaper.
He's talking in character, but in reality, he's just like, I'm wondering what the limitations of Evan's tolerance for bullshit is. Like, that's what he's doing.
Because my invisibility spell does not have the stealth trait. It's just illusion.
Like I said, the tolerance, we're testing it.
we're trying to help a friend out.
Yeah. I was trying to help.
What if I just hide a little bit?
As a treat.
Do you think you could survive it? And do we think it'll go away? Like,
I could
It
just
could be
like
an instant death. Who knows?
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
And that's why I'm saying, like, I can heal people. I can't bring them back to life. So if that thing kills him,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It might not be worth it, but
We'll have to wait until tomorrow.
we can't wait here because they'll have to hide, and we can't just run.
You don't
through
feel
the streets.
anything.
And it was several hours away.
y'all sure
By the
y'all
way.
are y'all not are y'all sure y'all aren't just fucking with me?
no, I'm really not.
Okay.
We're being completely.
I pull out my igniter.
You can
He-
light it on fire.
You pull out your igniter?
Yeah.
Okay. It's still daytime, so it doesn't make too much of a fuss.
Nothing. All right.
All right, I will say that the tolerance for standing and talking in the hands of Kroon's property in one of their alleys is not going to last much longer. You have about a minute of conversation left before y'all rolling stealth checks for me and someone discovers you.
Self check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say we need to
I'm sorry. We're not going to have infinite time to sit here and plan.
I pull out my mirror.
You see nothing.
Not even your own reflection.
No, he does.
The time is nigh.
Okay, so are there any like alleys like we could take to like move away from here that don't like to avoid going back to like the main?
It's either going back to sort of like the cluster of Vrosa or go deeper into Kroon territory.
What if we just try to make it back to the midnight vigilant?
It was hours away.
2 hours walk.
Yeah,
Yeah. Surely we'll be seen
probably.
on the way.
Do you think you could confidently pull it off as if that is something you deigned by choice?
And if they see you going into the midnight,
It would implicate them.
Okay, here's the plan.
Is that
Yep, yep, here's the plan. I got a plan. Okay, here's the plan. And I pull out my makeup. You. And I put my mask on Brooks, and I start doing you up like a shrieking sister and disguising you. And then I take string, and I put it around my hands, and I make myself into a giant marionette.
Okay, no, stop. Stop right now.
We don't have time.
You're putting makeup on Brooks.
Yeah.
How fast can you apply disguise? Rules is written.
I literally don't know.
Okay, it's not fast enough. You have described, you put the mask on Brooks, you put the hair and makeup on him, and you start tying marionette strings to yourself. A mage walks into the alley, turns his head left. Hey.
Did you just hit play?
Hey, buddy.
No. Mitchell, you will roll me the hardest intimidate check of your entire goddamn life.
Okay. I am wearing the mask, so I'm +2, right?
Yeah. No, you're not invested to it.
Okay.
With misfortune, because he's putting makeup on you right now. I just.
Use a hero point and cancel the misfortune.
What
don't
have
have
you?
any.
What have you
Oh, no.
done?
Oh.
It's not bad. 26
Wait.
for misfortune.
He stops,
Deception, though, right?
that
Oh,
was
no.
intimidation.
No, it was intimidation.
and you
you're
see
right.
this mage who's not a hand of Kroon, thankfully, but he looks. They're all talking about you. I can scream very loudly. I haven't yet. Make it worth my while, or I will. Don't posture towards me. What have you got?
I edge over.
I'm gonna cast
to-
Charm on him.
Oh shit! Okay.
Fuck you.
Okay.
My DC is 24.
Okay.
It's
Will
a
save?
Will save, yeah.
I shit you not. 23. I shit you not.
Sorry.
What's the failed save?
I think they become friendly.
Yeah. Failure, the target's attitude becomes friendly. If it was friendly, it becomes helpful. It
Yeah,
can't
he,
use...
he wasn't friendly, so he
Yeah.
would become friendly.
Yeah.
So he raises the level. Okay. You know, I think you need a little bit more red on there.
Yes.
Well, it looks like you guys have this under control. I'll see you guys soon.
Do you recognize this spell?
Oh yeah. That's a death sentence here in Vrosa. You've been marked by one of the guilds.
Do you know how much it hurts if I hide?
I've never seen someone survive it.
Cool.
It's the form of suspended retribution.
Any particular way to get rid of it?
No one would dare get rid of it. It's already at the ire of the guilds. You wouldn't find anyone willing to remove that curse because once they see you're marked, they wouldn't risk the ire of the guilds.
Okay, but all I did was sell a dagger to somebody.
Hey, I'm with you, friend of my friend. It seems... Sorry. I wish you better luck in the next life. Well,
That's the best we can do.
toodaloo.
Okay, that sounded like the getting back to the Midnight Vigilant plan wouldn't actually pan out.
No.
All right, you have 1 hour till that guy rats you out.
No, he doesn't know I cast a spell on him unless he succeeds.
Yeah. But he still saw you there, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
When
so
the spell ends,
Under
the
duress,
target
he'd probably rat us out.
So he wouldn't.
Okay.
He would still be able to report Ernie. He just wouldn't, rat you out specifically.
Mhm.
It's a level 1 spell. It's not to prevent him from lying to the hands of Kroon.
So we can.
Out of curiosity, is there like a sewer system?
No.
Okay.
Everyone just magics their poop away.
Yeah, fair.
Sorry.
Poop be gone.
Okay, so we can. You can puppet walk me. That's plan 1.
I don't think it's gonna work.
Okay, then I want my mask back. It's really cool.
I take it off and give it to you right
Plan
now.
2 is you guys abandon me and I die.
Okay.
Okay, here's the thing. Even if we go in, we would still have to get out. And you've got that.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
I have.
What do you have?
I have an idea, but it only works again if it doesn't just kill him outright.
Okay.
I'm willing to hear the rest of the sentence.
Well, a potion. I could take half the hurt.
Oh.
And then theoretically, I could also cast Shield Other, and then I could take half of that.
So we'd all only half die.
If it's instant die, then we all just die.
You guys tried this, and I'm just sitting there like, well, they're all corpses.
Well, I mean, if it just kills him outright, I wouldn't be able to take the damage. It would just kill Ernie.
It's just damage.
Oh my god.
But that's
It might be our.
Honestly,
only
it might be
option.
our only option.
Yeah.
are you
Ernie,
willing
how
to
does this
risk
make
your
you
life,
feel?
Ernie? Because
I mean, it sounds like we both would be risking our lives.
it kind of just seems like if we leave, you're spotted and killed.
Yep.
If we don't leave, you hide and die.
Yep.
What else are we gonna do?
The Grim Reaper shrugs.
Okay.
I just work here.
So, you're giving the potion of shared trauma?
Yeah, it's potion of shared life.
Shared life.
Yeah.
And then you are casting Shield Other?
Yeah.
So you'll be split
I
three
can
ways.
use my reaction to take half his damage.
Ernie, would you like to hide?
Guys,
Here, drink this.
Oh, you have to go drink it. That's
Yes.
cute.
Oh.
it's
We only have a minute.
it's been an honor adventuring with you.
Anyway,
Peekaboo.
I'm scared.
Okay. Please roll a reflex save at misfortune because you're covering your eyes and crouching, and because of the sort of spin on the magic that the sisters put on this.
Reflex save with
Reflex is probably your best, right?
It is.
Too bad.
It's a shame. Natural 20
Nope.
and a 3.
Which brings it to
21.
All right, 21.
hopefully just a regular fail.
A 21 is, oh shit, by level? Hang on. I pulled up my screen. I have to pull up this guy's DC again.
This is madness.
Best I
You said
can do
one?
is heal you guys afterward.
21.
Crit fail.
That's a crit fail?
Okay, that is a critical failure. If I'm
Or
looking
a
at,
reflex?
I'm looking at D-cell.
Oh.
Do you go up a level because of anything?
No, it's reflex.
Okay.
It only if I succeed, I crit succeed.
That would be 90 points of mental damage. Would that kill you?
No, well,
It would knock
I
him-
would go unconscious.
And it probably has a death effect, so if it reduces it to 0, it probably kills you.
So
I take half.
you take 90. You take 45. So you take 45, you take 45.
Oh. And then I take how much?
Half of the half. So you both take half of 45.
Math is hard.
Math is hard, but it's
20.
23 and 22.
Yeah, I'll take the 23.
The Grim Reaper goes to slice, and then you see a Spectral Brooks come out, and the Spectral Brooks actually grabs him and pulls him out of the way, and then you see somebody get pulled into the potion, and it dissipates, and the spell ends.
Wow.
Ow!
Hey, good job. You used resources, and you got through it.
I just like nosebleed, like
That would have fucking killed me.
Okay.
Did it have a clause that removed instant
Well, if it-
death?
I'm not going to tell you.
if it has the death tag,
Yeah.
that all spells
Well,
with the
I
death
have
tag just do
88
that.
HP, so
You have 88?
yeah.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to.
Oh, no.
What?
Crit failed. That was the regular damage.
That's
You
what you
failed a
take double
basic
that.
save. Everyone needs to take double what they just
So
took.
I took 90. Y'all both took 45.
Yeah, sorry.
Shit.
Yeah, that was. I'm sorry. That was the regular damage. I
Yeah.
forgot to give the crit. You both take 45. You take 90. So it's a little bit more than a nosebleed as the the blade slices across.
Doubled over in pain.
Yeah. You're like, oh, it wasn't too bad, and then the second wave hits you, and it's mental damage. So like, you can see blood coming out of their nose, ears, and eyeballs as they bend over in pain.
Healing,
Okay.
just in case. Just in case you need that from you.
I will not impersonate Shrieking Sisters anymore.
You've learned your lesson.
I've learned my lesson.
You got enough out of
I'm
it.
gonna cast Vital Beacon on myself,
Okay.
and then
I
offer my
hug you.
flesh. Yeah.
We've
Offer
got
my
the healing
flesh.
potions if you wanted to
Oh,
save
we do
your...
have healing potions, but that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can cast this again.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just took 90 damage. Or, yeah, I took 90.
Holy
Okay,
shit.
So who's taking first grab?
Him.
What is it? 12?
First
Is it
hug.
D8 or 12s
Four,
first?
4d10.
10 first.
Creative problem solving.
I'm probably gonna have to heal a bunch right now if we're gonna
Yeah, we'll probably need
heist
all of them.
tonight.
4d10 first. The next one's 4d8.
I'll take that one.
You can take some solace in that there's no way they think you're still alive.
Yeah.
Because they know it triggered.
I'll do 4d6 for myself, and then does anyone want a 4d4?
Yes.
Okay. What a great spell this is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
This,
chug.
I love that spell.
And I do have
You have some too.
extra potions if you need them.
You could literally
I'm
become
probably
a
about to
heal
chug
bot.
some potions. All right,
I healed 10.
6, 9, 11.
I love that one spell. You guys are like potion,
We are
spell slot,
scrambling,
and like
yeah.
you're using yes.
No, I'm gonna.
Save-
I did. I will say that
I ate my fourth
we're
level.
a little wonky with the rules as written
Yeah, so-
on that spell, but I think
It was an interesting
the
moment.
spirit of it is there.
All right.
We
Just
had
in-
spirit.
Yes, we do.
Okay, I'm also going to drink some potion. I'll drink a potion.
Oh my gosh, these
thanks,
doo-doo
everybody.
rolls on the heels.
I think I'll do 2 minors.
Consequences.
As well.
Consequences.
Is it just a D8 for the minor?
I think so. Hold on.
Okay,
Well, Ernie.
that fucking sucked.
And y'all aren't in the compound
Yeah,
yet.
just a date.
Okay.
But you look like a shrieking sister, and he looks like a puppet.
No, he took the
I
mask
gave
off.
it.
Oh, okay. Thank
yeah,
God.
sorry.
That was to try and like.
All right. Hey, it's evening now. You guys have
We
spent.
did it.
You guys have spent 2 hours in this fucking alley.
Yeah. Okay. In many ways, that was a success.
We learned a lot. How hurt are we still?
By the way, I am pressing the limits of like my grace of being like you guys, a party adventurers, spent 2 hours in the alley. Like,
I have got 3 empty potion bottles at my feet.
I've got 2. I used like some herbs. I'm still at. what
I'll
was it?
take those back.
need those for later.
Phase 2. Okay.
All right. So how are we gonna get in?
I feel like our best course would be to figure out the riddle to get in.
Roll Arcana,
Arcana.
or Arcana.
31.
It is not a
Jeez.
riddle. It is not a riddle. It is a call sign. I think that was clear. Like
Okay.
it gives you a password, and you give the reverse password.
I mean, I guess for our purposes, it's a riddle. 'Cause we don't know.
It might be a riddle. Like it might have a riddle like answer, but it could be something like spring chickens. Like it's just whatever you're supposed to say.
All right. We just need to sneak up and hear somebody go in. Now I have excellent news. I'm pretty sure I can hide again.
The Grim Reaper. No.
Not like this.
Now we all have a Grim Reaper and you don't.
Do you want me to sneak up and just sit next to the gate for a bit and wait until I hear someone come in?
Do you have a way
Or is there
to
a different-
guarantee you are not going to be noticed?
I mean, I
Yeah,
could always
fucking hide.
send Emrys. It's just a giant bug.
Okay, here's the thing. Even if we know the password, we don't want to just walk in the front gate, right? There has to be another form of egress.
I mean, I could try and sneak around and find a way, but
Was it just kind of sitting out in the open?
There
With,
is
like, a wall
there's
around it?
nowhere to sneak. There's nowhere to hide. There is empty space, and there's a giant metal cube in the middle of the empty space.
Oh, is there a door on the cube?
They did not see a door. It was just a big metal obelisk,
All right.
like I said, like 2001. Just a
into the
big
obelisk.
metal cube.
okay.
There's a guard walking around outside with some dogs.
There's no windows. There might be a stairs on the top. Okay.
Oh yeah, the thing's closed, so we couldn't see what happened after they walked.
It is dark now, though, right? It's getting darker.
It's getting darker.
Evening.
Like,
Dusky.
I could sneak up and see if I can see something. Doors.
Okay.
I think I can get past the dogs and the guy.
If you got up top? Or you mean to get there without him noticing?
Yeah, I think I can get to the edge of it.
Okay.
Wesley could get up top hell of a lot easier than I can.
Unless there's some kind of magical barrier or something.
Yeah. But how are they going to... They probably don't expect somebody just to jump up there.
It's a city of magical people that can fly.
Okay?
You make a valid point.
Are there any like nearby buildings that would give advantage?
This one is isolated. This is their guild hall apparently, but it's just a cube.
Cube.
I mean, it makes sense. It's really hard to get into.
Remember, I could make us invisible for 10 minutes.
I don't know if those guardians will care for invisible.
Yeah, all right. Let me go up there first.
Okay.
And just kind of see what's around and hiding. Because like, if I get close to something that's hiding, I think I'll be able to figure it out. So let me just kind of sneak up there and see what's going on. All right. And I take a few moments to like let my skin kind of darken to match the area surrounding me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to sneak past the guard and using the shadows as cover.
Okay. You must get into the compound through the stone guardians to get past
Okay, so
the
there
guard.
is a fence.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a 15-foot concrete wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stone wall.
Is it spiked at the top?
No, I said there's some little thorn patches up there, but nothing that's gonna like murder you.
Okay. Well, first I do a lap around the fence. Is there any other entrance?
No. It is like a ugly sort of uniform, smooth. We can't even see the brick lines. Slab of stone, and then there's the 2 stone guardians at the very front.
Okay. Okay. You think I should just try to get over this fence? I don't think I can get through the guardians without the call phrase. I could just go over the top.
They probably have some sort of.
Or I could wait until someone uses the call phrase.
Sneak in behind them.
Yeah.
But then how will we get in? I could
Yeah.
send you a message.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll penetrate.
All right. I'm gonna try to get near enough to the gate to hear what the phrase is, and you could send me a message when you see someone go in, and I can at least relay the message back to you. All right. I'm gonna sneak up near the gate to try to hear the next person that goes in.
Okay. A reminder that it's just a empty space and the big statues. So like to be hiding, you're essentially hiding just out in the open.
I've got like a
Like,
cloak,
crunk
and
on
I'm
the
trying
wall.
to like find shadows.
Okay, so you're like hiding by one of the big statues essentially.
Essentially, yes. If one of them's casting a shadow.
That's about the only thing that's casting a shadow. Otherwise, it's just a sleek wall.
Okay.
Like when I say there's nowhere to hide, I mean straight up. Like there's
That's
just
a
by
sun
design,
like
there's
college.
nowhere to
Yeah.
hide.
Yeah.
They probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should probably like meander about and not look so further.
Like on the side of the alley.
All right. No one comes in. You wait for half an hour, 45 minutes. But then you hear, you can't see because you're on the, let's imagine the statue's here. You're like on this side of it in the shadows. You hear this sort of mechanical, and then you hear steps. And you hear grunts of disapproval. And you hear, do you want to peek and see?
I would like to peek.
You need to roll stealth. I won't make you roll perception because it'll be easy to see.
The Grim Reaper says.
39.
Okay. As you're going,
You're, like, on
you
their
watch
shoulder.
you watch the guys move the spears, and you pull back because you see a hand of Kroon dragging bodies. The maned wolves. They are
Oh, the same ones that
the
we
same
saw.
ones, just burnt to a crisp. Nothing left. You assume it's the maned wolves because you're like, this is the same hand of Kroon I saw earlier. They take the bodies out, like they walk right past you, don't seem to notice you. They throw them on the street, and you hear one of them yell, "Somebody clean these up!" And then he turns around and he walks back in.
He walks like he.
Back past you, doesn't notice you, goes back into the gate.
I tried to slip around the gate before it shuts. After he passes, but before
A
it
new one
shuts.
with fortune because you're coming from such a high place of stealth.
Does anyone go to retrieve the bodies like commanded?
It's only been a moment, so not yet.
I would like to go and take one.
Okay.
38.
Because, like I said, we wouldn't be hiding in the alley. We would be like kind of milling about, trying not to draw attention.
Okay. You're in. You can see the steel box, the metallic box right in front of you, and you can see the chronomancer just walking around. Every so often, a dog will blink in. Seek action. Your stealth is what?
38.
Fail.
I'm putting off no scent.
Understand? A dog, and you see him disappear in these puffs of energy. With your perception, and when you stand there, there's at least 2 dogs, and then you see something that's different. Another dog appears. This one has a chain for its collar, and it has one of its paws hanging around the chain.
didn't do it.
The dog has a beard, and it looks up.
Nothing to report on this plane or the ethereal.
And then the dog, who's twice the size of the other dogs, you see the chronomancer, thank you, and it
I think
disappears
he's
as well.
The second in the pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just see the dogs blinking around the material.
So I'll cast message.
Okay.
So it's just mouthing words. So there's no like actual audio if he's responding. But I just say, "What do you see?"
I silently respond. How many words do I get?
25. I think.
No, there's
right?
no. There's no.
Oh,
limit.
there's no
Okay.
limit?
One mage, a talking dog. He's on the ethereal plane. 2 dumb dogs.
Seek action.
I didn't hear the call phrase.
What's a stealth?
38.
Perception. The big one appears right next to you and blinks out of existence. Oh boy. When you move,
I almost stabbed it.
it did not detect you.
So, were either of the bodies still alive when I got to
They are
them?
both dead. Clearly.
Yeah,
Like,
I will
they're-
still bring one back
Okay.
to Cordelia, wherever she happens to be. You wouldn't happen to be able to speak with the dead. I'm sure one of these heard what is said to get inside.
I almost grabbed that spell.
Look, I know I do some weird shit, but no, I can't speak with the dead.
Seek action.
Is that even
You're
something I can learn?
so...
Maybe.
It was on a 19 and it rolled over to a 1.
Yeah, but it might be divine.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to cast. I guess in the minute that this is happening, I'm going to cast Wanderer's Guide.
Okay.
For an inspired route to the Hand of Kroon's vault. I want to see if it like shows some
Goes
part of
straight to the cube.
straight to the cube.
Like a straight line, makes an L. Out of the alley, straight to the cube. Straight to the cube.
I'm going to
Actually,
move while maintaining my stealth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get away from where the dogs are patrolling.
Well, they're patrolling the entire area. They're
courtyard.
blinking in and out of existence all around.
Okay, then I'm going to.
It's not a huge area, as you can see. The guard stays in the front, but the dogs are poofing around all around here.
Now that I'm on. Well, first of all, I'm going to put the cube between me and the guard.
Okay, so he's at the front. The dogs will appear back here then.
And I am going to, now that I'm on the inside of the fence, patrol to see if I see like a secret hatch or something.
Roll perception.
26.
It is smooth. You can't even feel any like magic levers. It is just a smooth. It's like touching a metal wall, like touching a polished piece of armor. It's chrome and it's like pure polish. There's not even a scratch on it. I will say that this shows off how masterfully skilled the characters are, because again, there's no real cover, but like you are like using the shadows. You're like ducking down and like using the fact that you can hide your scent. These are all feats that you have, just in case people are freaking out that he's hiding so well.
Yeah.
What's your stealth?
38.
38.
I don't have to break it to move.
I understand that. I'm just checking this number because I rolled a natural 19.
It just needs enough plus 19, which is reasonable for our level.
It needs a plus 19, but this dog is not your level. It cannot find you without a crit. That's how hidden you are.
Wow.
So
I'm literally master in stealth.
Every
For
time you
anyone
do
who's
some-
unfamiliar with the system, I have a lot of feats invested in this.
yeah, a lot. So these dogs are not like poor at finding stuff. Like you can hear them, and you feel like they're aware there's something, and they're getting frustrated because they can't seem to suss you
Showing
out.
off the
Yeah,
fact that he's
I
a
wouldn't-
spy.
Every time someone does something, I roll seek. So there's a 5% chance every time that they're gonna find you, because that's how dire this situation is, and I don't want to underplay that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll
Okay.
send another message to Ernie and say, if you move towards the statues, will they open? Or did they have to speak to open it again?
When the mage approached the gates, they opened automatically, from what I could tell.
We might be
Seek
looking at
action. Natural 19 again.
They're gonna get me.
Now you see that they're congregating in this area, and like one walks right past you, but like you are such a master of stealth, like your chameleon skin kind of turns chrome as you're bent up against the wall, and he walks past and you feel it.
I want to assess the relative strength of the smaller dogs when the next time one gets close to me.
You could take him out with a good sneak attack.
That's what I wanted to know.
Oh.
I want you to do recall knowledge real quick.
Sure.
It's either
Nature?
beast, arcana, or nature. It's a DC 18. I love whenever if I ever get to play this game and not be, I'm going to make a lore master because the
32.
lore in this game is so good.
You
You
said
can
Arcana's an
it
option?
actually has mechanical options. Arcana's an option.
32.
It's a blink dog. It's a crit success. So that is or not crit success. It's close to it. It's a blink dog. All right, they are intelligent dogs that serve wizards. Most of them are good. Like they usually serve the side of good, but I mean they're intelligent. They can be persuaded to do anything. They can see in the ethereal plane and move through the ethereal plane, and they blink constantly in and out of existence. They basically live in two worlds at once. Understanding them relative to you, they're they're something that would have been like a threat at the beginning of your Windfall adventure. They're no more powerful than the kobolds that you were really fighting in the cave. This is a level 2 creature, just for like metagame knowledge.
Yeah.
But I think with your analysis, I think you can kind of know that. The big one is much stronger, but not like a... and you have a sense from analyzing him that he may be able to cast spells. He's what's known as a Blink Dog Sage, a leader of the pack that has learned to cast spells.
Makes sense since he's got the wizard beard and the palm.
Yep, makes sense.
I wish I made that up, but I did not. That's actually in the
That's
Pathfinder lore. Yeah. Well, it doesn't say they can cast spells, but I added that.
Because why not?
Because why not? It says they can live for histories. They can live for centuries and carry histories, and they counsel people, like the alpha of the pack and stuff. I think that's just so cool.
Super cool.
Okay. Do we have a message connection going on right now?
I could send another one. I'm gonna say
You use recall knowledge, so seek action. Okay.
if you move towards the gate, we can maybe get him behind it. If I make us all invisible, is what I'll say to the message, so you can send something back.
Okay.
I would like to interject something, but I can't.
Yeah,
Does,
you can-
what you're saying.
does invisibility put you on the ethereal plane?
It makes you
No.
invisible.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it does in this game
Okay.
system. Okay, I can get near the gate, or I can try to kill one of the smaller blink dogs. I'm worried I can't kill all 4 of them at the same time.
Sorry.
I can maybe try to pick them off one by one.
Just a reminder for me, you're just moving your mouth, you're not actually talking.
Yeah. Right.
Seek action. Holy shit, they are like you see the fur right, you know they know, but they can't be certain, and it's freaking them and you out. Fuck your stealth roll, bud. Seriously, fuck that stealth
He rolled a
roll.
19 with his plus 19.
Yeah, I've got a.
But this is what it's supposed to look like, a low level creature versus a literal master.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what the level disparity is supposed to look like.
I make my way back around to the gate.
Okay, you're maintaining your stealth because you have that feature.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to take a stride, 3 seek actions.
Okay.
Stride. Well, you can make it in 2, right? What's your speed?
25.
You're
Don't you
here.
have a
5,
few-
10,
I can
15,
maintain
20,
stealth,
25.
stealth at
5, 10.
25.
2 strides, 2 seek actions. Natural 15. Natural 18.
And the guy's on the other side of the
He's
gate.
here, so
Yeah.
he gets. He's actively seeking as well.
Oh.
He is much higher level than them, so I have to use a different. He does not need a natural 20.
I pull a marble out of my pocket.
1 second.
If you get,
He does not. He just seems to be on patrol right now.
I pull a marble out of my pocket and I whip it onto the back wall. So that it just goes ting ting.
You see this flash, and suddenly there's a sound of like tearing up, and
And when they all turn to
And
the
noise.
back, I like try to hit the garage door sensor on the
Okay.
front gate.
okay. So he rolled deception real quick with fortune because like he had no idea you were in
And
there.
as I hear this,
distraction.
I'm gonna cast Invisibility Sphere on us.
Okay.
invisibility sphere.
17 on deception.
17 versus his. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. No. His perception DC, right? Is it? Is his perception plus 10, right?
I think so. Is this-
Presumably.
Does this create a distraction?
Yeah.
Create a distraction. So you see him turn around. The halberds do open.
Diversion.
The diversion works. But as the dogs are snarling in the back, he just turns, and as he does, he just sees the open gates, and now, just like in the open,
I haven't moved. I mean, I guess I did move in front, but I'm still trying to stealth.
I understand that, but you are moving.
Sure, I mean,
you made a distraction, so
Yeah.
your stealth is now invalid. You threw the thing, and you're in the wide open of the gate where there's more
There's
light.
less of- I'm silhouetted a bit.
And you're silhouetted. So he turns and makes you, and he cries out. I need everyone to go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Okay. We're invisible. We can see each other as long as you're within 10 feet of me.
Oh.
That's interesting.
But we have to stay
I
within 10 feet of
need to
you
roll
stay
initiative.
invisible.
Am I rolling perception or am I rolling a stealth?
I would say perception because I think your stealth is done.
You all get a glimpse of this happening seconds before as I cast that thing that I do. Call to arms.
That thing
Does
you
that
do.
break your invisibility? Because
That's a good
I
question.
think
All right,
because it's a spell. Don't do it if it's a spell, right?
all right. 30 to 25. 30 to 35 to 30.
After a hostile action is completed.
That's fine. You can use it.
Okay.
27.
Oh,
is-
so you get
is-
plus 2 to this and 4 temporary HP.
All right. Ernie is up first.
I don't
Are
know.
we're doing our stealth since we're invisible?
Sure.
I don't think that Ernie's within range of 20 feet, so
It's okay. If I move first, he's still flat-footed.
You guys are about, I say, 40 feet out of the map.
We gotta move.
I rolled a natural 1, so you might just have
I
to
rolled a natural 2.
Oh.
So you guys are about 40
What?
feet out.
I'm just waiting and seeing.
I get one turn before he can actually cry out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because that was his initiative. That is him like trying to do that
No,
first.
question
That's what
is,
initiative
we take
is. So
hostile
he has
actions.
not
Do
been
we-
able
This
to
is the
cry.
first time that rule has really played into
Yep,
my
he has
favor.
not. Well, it's like when people say, "I cast firebolt." Like,
No,
no,
you
you
don't.
got. That's what initiative is. Like seeing who could do their thing first. All right, you're faster. Everyone else, initiatives.
18.
Natural 1.
18. So it's gonna be
23.
Doggo. 23. So you're before Wesley.
And then Brooks, what was your total?
And it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
It would have been 12, but
Yeah, everyone else is already
so
accounted
yes,
for.
if you
Let's see if the
leave
battle
the
cam
sphere,
works.
you become visible.
Oh, so we have. Okay, we're aware of
We-
that. We
yeah.
have to stay within 10 feet of you.
And
Uh-oh.
if you do a hostile
Oh, it is
action,
working.
you become visible. You do not become invisible again by entering the sphere again.
All right, let me get the standby
So once you're visible,
going.
you're visible.
So we have to book to the gate together.
Together.
We're just on the
Carry
wrong
me.
thing.
I'm not wearing armor.
I wasn't sure if y'all were gonna get unstealthed or not, so like I didn't like. It's not the prettiest map, but it's here.
Well, we got on stealth.
Yep, here we are. All right, so Ernie, you have initiative. He's turned. And you know he's gonna cry out or cast a spell or something, but he has not moved yet. You have
All right.
the initiative.
I take a step and I flick my dagger at him.
Go for it.
32.
32 hits.
Not a crit.
How
Not a crit.
how close is Ernie to us?
Not even against his flat-footed. Nope.
He is flat-footed because I'm moving
Yeah,
before
yeah.
him.
Yeah, I was asking before he finished it. I didn't know if he had counted for it.
Can you reach spell with it?
23 points of damage.
Oh,
No,
that
it's the
hurt.
Triggers and
He
allies
is
20.
in pain.
I step and flick the dagger
You
again.
see, as you hit him, the hand around him shivers, and you see this sort of weird time dilation, and he like reverts back, and you see some of his wound close, and he doesn't take the full damage. Okay.
All right, the dagger reappears in my hand, and I keep taking a step forward, and I throw it again.
Okay.
23.
23. He's still flat-footed, so that does hit. That is his flat-footed DC AC. His AC is 25.
Low damage.
Not bad.
Full on wizard.
13 more points of damage.
Whew! And that's a physical damage, right?
Yes.
So you can see as he's
It
like
is a magical weapon.
it doesn't affect anything.
No.
He sort of like time dilates, and you can see him actually like rewinding the strike a little bit to where it's just a little bit. He can't stop the entire blow from happening, but he absorbs some of the damage. You said 13 points of damage? Okay.
23 and 13.
Okay, got it. Very nice. Okay. Anything else? So you stepped. Were you stepping closer
I'm
to
stepping
him?
towards him.
You're
So
stepping-
by the last one, I'm like in his face, and I stab
Okay,
a
so
third
step,
time.
step. Third time. Okay.
18 versus flat-footed. That's not going to hit.
No, was
It is
23.
not.
Imagine like the dangling hand just smacks the dagger out of the way.
Okay. Ooh. that is 60 feet long.
Wait, what?
Okay. Okay. This is gonna be fun. So the boys are open. The what are they? The golems, the constructs, the guardians are open. The boys are open. Sorry, I'm trying to read and talk
The
at the same
boys
time.
are back in town.
The boys are back in town. Look, sometimes you get flustered when you're GMing. Okay. All right.
There's so many moving parts.
All right. Fuck this shit.
I have that same concern.
He is going to.
Maybe I should.
He is going to
Here, one
first
thing.
cast haste on himself and get that extra.
Doing the time magic thing.
Yep, he's
Haste
gonna.
does apply to the turn you cast.
Yeah, so he is hasted. So he is going to go ahead and stride for that extra action, and he's going to move over here. 5. So he moves over here. Third action, he's going to cry out, "Attack! We're under attack! Hounds, to my aid!" All right.
I'm
That's
gonna
all.
reactive pursuit and run and stand behind him.
Okay.
Nani?
Nani? All right. So dogs.
That one's big.
That's the big one.
That's a big boy.
All right. Let's do the little ones first.
Big
All right.
rat.
The itty bitty boys.
It's like, in comparison to him, I imagine they're, guard dog size.
All right. They are constantly blinking. All right.
Aren't we all?
Are we already?
This one is going to stride, and he is going to attack you with his jaws. Natural 20.
That's gonna hit.
Okay. Let me move some of this mud around.
He's going to drag you to
Like I said, they're not very big boys. That is going to be 12 points of piercing damage, except, 12 points of piercing damage. Pack attack only applies when the third one gets here. Next action, he is going to out of existence. All right, this one is going to stride, blink out of existence. The big one moves up on you.
Scary.
He is going to bite. Natural 20.
Jeez.
They're the natural
There,
players.
there they are. They are waiting for combat.
All right, so I rolled minimum damage. So he says 3 plus 3 is going to be 6. So 12 points of piercing again.
Okay.
And then he's going to just take a second jaw strike instead of blinking. That's going to be 15 plus 9, 24 versus flat-footed.
No.
Okay. He snaps at...
Hold on. 24. Why is he flat-footed?
Why are you
Sorry,
flat-footed?
Why am I flat-footed?
Flanking.
Flanking.
Okay. Hold on.
You are flat-footed.
I am not. Is it lower than level 8?
Yeah.
Okay. I do not give advantages to such creatures.
Woo! All right, so
Damn.
it's not, it is not flat-footed to you. All right.
Deny advantage.
He is level 8. These are lower. All right. Very cool. I like that a lot.
So we have
All right.
wood.
Everyone else, you are 40 feet away. It is going to be Cordelia's turn. You're only invisible as long as you're within 10 feet
Of Brooks.
of Brooks.
Yep.
We're 40 feet from the gate. And
You're
then-
40 feet from the gate, so the odds of you seeing in here are basically none. You can see this.
We did see Ernie and the other dude move to the other side, but
You know they're over here, but you can't.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
okay.
way to have that angle until you're
Yeah.
at the
I
gate.
just meant like we know he went that side.
And how does holding your turn work? I essentially want to run in with Brooks.
There's the option to delay, which I think is a free action. You just drop into initiative, and there's hold an action, which
There's ready. It's a two-action
Spend 2
activity.
actions to ready 1 action.
Yep.
And it's your reaction.
So you can spend 2 actions to ready a stride and to stride when he strides.
yeah. Or there is also delay.
Or you can
wait
delay
for the
your
right
turn.
moment. The rest of your turn doesn't happen. Instead, you're moved from initiative order, and then you can enter initiative at any point you wish.
I think I'd prefer to do the hold action to stride when Brooks strides.
Okay. You can use 2 actions now, and that third action you can use it whenever he does something. All right. That's gonna bring us to Wesley.
Because I can't.
I'm just
You can't
gonna.
move together anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run forward
Okay.
I'm going to jump at the wall by one of the statues and try to jump around them by wall jumping off of the
So you're
wall.
trying to go over the wall, not over the statue.
Yeah.
You're not trying to go through the open gate. You're trying to go over the wall.
Yeah, like kind of.
Roll a will save.
A will save. Oop, they do got those. I'm going to use a hero point.
See, Ernie, I knew this was a bad idea to go over the wall.
I'm glad I didn't.
Over the garden wall.
Might be very bad because that's
God,
only
I really wanted to
18.
watch that.
18 is a fail. All right. You need to go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
So confusion on going.
Turns you into a frog.
2, orange.
I don't like that.
You take 25. Go ahead and make a reflex save.
We have a reflex. Gosh, this die is going to
Come
jail.
and get
It has not
here.
rolled above.
Give me here.
Is it a prismatic wall?
It has not rolled above 5 in like 10 rolls.
It's a
We'll put it in
23.
23 is a pass. So you take 12 points of acid
If it's
damage.
pass, it'd be a crit
Crit
success.
success.
because
So
of evasion.
Wesley
An
jumps,
explosion of orange.
an explosion of orange energy, and now you see this sort of energy around the dome of it. You would take 25 acid damage. Instead, you splash harmlessly down here. You lucky bastard. You absolute lucky bastard. All right.
That would be stride, jump, wall jump. So that's all I can do.
Okay. Where do you want to land? Where's about?
As far as I can.
You can get flanking with the guy. I think that's fair.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Okay. Brooks.
So Cordelia and I are going to stride forward. I can go 25 feet,
I can go 35.
and you can go 35.
So
you'd
that
still
you
be
could
in.
get within,
Yeah,
10
you're
feet
in.
ahead of him.
And I will move with another stride. Oh, yeah.
The gate.
I'll move a stride so I'm next to her.
We're through the gate together.
Yeah. So,
Thank goodness.
Because it's shutting.
Because it goes.
yeah.
Oh, I
closes
forgot it was
behind you.
open.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. That's why I was like, I was so confused. I was like, why?
You did say open gate. You're like, you don't want to go through open gate.
Yeah, I did say that.
I
yeah.
missed the open
I was
part.
making sure I wasn't
was like, you don't
crazy.
want to go through the gate? I'm like, no, because they're closed and they'll try and ward me.
With that second stride, I'll move like one forward too, so I just
Though
give
to be
Cordelia more
fair,
room
I
to
think if
move.
you
There you
ran
go.
through, they might have
Is that okay?
immediately closed
Yeah, and for my
afterward.
third action, I will
Because you're
armor
not
up.
invisible.
The victory plate appears.
It worked.
All right.
Only you and I can see it.
Ernie, you're up.
This is fine.
All right.
Maybe we just let them handle it. We see
As
it.
the mage turns to face the frog that just pitter-pattered flopped to his
Mm-hmm.
back, I am going to stab him in the kidney.
Okay, go for it.
I nat 1.
That's no. So you should go stab him in the kidney. You see him. You actually stab him, and you see him twist his hand, and you miss, and he like reverted himself to a space where he did not get hit.
I toss the dagger to my other hand, so I'm like,
Try again.
Try to trick
Okay,
him.
go for it.
26 versus flat-footed.
Yeah, that does hit this time.
That's going to be 19 points of damage.
Okay, 19 points of damage. You see him ward off some of that, but it's still a huge hit. It's still a huge hit for him. Excellent.
And then with my third action, Okay. With the third action, I reach. No, I'm not doing it. I almost put the mask back on.
It'd be 2 actions, right? 1 pull out. 1 put it
Correct.
Yeah. I am
Quick draw the
going.
mask.
Yeah.
From the point.
I'm gonna try to swing. Actually, no. I'm gonna try to swing. I turn and swing at the sage. Is what I do.
Oh, at the big dog? Go for it.
Yeah. Is that a natural 20 or was that cocked?
It cocked. Stop rolling towards me.
Thank you
It's
for
gonna
your
cock every
thank you
time
for your honesty.
15
Because it keeps getting
Against
blitzed.
the big one?
against the big one.
No.
Okay.
You swing and he blinks out and into existence.
Fool, I knew I smelled your scent.
All right.
I was hiding that.
The mage's turn.
I was hiding and I don't have no shit.
Groon, bind my foes.
Is he casting a spell?
He is casting a.
Stack.
You gonna stab him?
Yeah, I can interrupt it because
Go
it's a
for it.
manipulate action.
Okay. He doesn't
This
know
is
you have
versus
that.
Flat foot. Natural 1.
Oh, yes!
Weird though, because as he starts to stab him, so do I.
I don't
God
have
damn
to hit,
it.
I just have to make an attack.
Yes, I just need you to attack him.
That's good. Reactions are so good. Natural 1?
Natural 2.
Does a 19 hit his flat
Does
footed?
not.
No,
It
it's
absolutely
23.
does not. So you both try to stab him. He.
Do I recognize this as an enchantment spell?
It is not an enchantment spell. This is an arcane, occult, aberrant, conjuration spell. Groon,
I tried.
bind my foes. You see his hand drop off the chain and sink into the ground. Doom, doom, doom. Shadow covers the entire ground. Gigantic,
They can't see us,
slimy,
it's fine.
black tentacles.
It might not matter.
Let's see.
Yes, it's fine.
Let's see. Any creature you succeed against, they attack you automatically. He's not targeting you. The tentacles are targeting you. It's an area spell. Sorry, that's not how area spells work. All of you make a Fortitude save.
Fortitude, you say.
not fortitude.
That's the one I like to make you make. As he casts black tentacles on all of you.
I'm not fortuitous.
And I measured out the
It's
20
above
foot
5
burst is
this time,
just enough to
y'all.
hit you guys. All right,
24.
24. Oh my god! Let me look at his fucking
Pretty sure I
spell
crit
save.
fail.
Let me look at his spell
Do
DC
you not
real
have
quick.
Oh, you don't
And
have
his spell DC. Do do dee do dee dee dee. I am bad at this game. Looking at the wrong
It's okay, you
fucking
can't really move
guy.
anyways.
Do do do. Fail. 24 is a fail.
26.
Pass.
14.
Fail. Crit fail. No. Crit fail.
Yes.
28.
28. Pass. Okay. People that pass, you take half damage, and you are going to not get grabbed by the tentacles. Let me look at this spell real quick. Black tentacles. So as the tentacles go out and they snatch you, black tentacles.
I sure hope
All
we
right.
make it inside.
The any creature you succeed against. Oh, I'm so wrong. I'm so sorry. Everyone, ignore what I just said.
Yes.
I make a spell attack roll against each of you.
Oh,
against your
God.
fortitude. Against your fortitude DC.
Oh no.
So he
How
rolled
do we determine the DC?
Does he roll once or?
So you just 20.
plus 20, so 26
fortuitous.
versus fortitude DC.
It hits me.
Okay.
That was the one off. Yeah, it hits.
It hits me.
You said 26.
Oh, wait,
26 was your fort
That's
DC.
exactly
Oh,
my
fortitude,
fort
yeah.
save.
Hits all of you? Okay, yeah, he's got a big spell attack. All right, so as the black tentacles hit
was
you,
AC.
sorry about that. I'm sorry I did that wrong. I'm freaking out. All right, you are grabbed by the tentacles. So you are grabbed. You are held in place. You are flat-footed and immobilized. If you attempt to manipulate, you have to do a DC 5 flat check. And you're all going to take 3d6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, we're still in position.
This is not a weapon attack, so this wouldn't work.
You're going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage, each of you. That's all 3 of his things. It's now the
Wait,
dog's
but I thought you're
turns.
thingy, so it's not actually.
All right, I'm gonna have the dogs blink in. Over here. Where was he? He was here.
Well, you're only flat-footed versus the each.
And then this one's going to blink in here. Let's take some bites against Wesley. Bite 1.
I already used my reaction thing. It doesn't.
All right. 27 versus AC for Wesley.
Hit.
Okay, you are going to take 9 points of piercing, plus the additional D4 for pack tactics. It's 1 more point of damage. The other one's going to try and nibble. That one's going to miss for sure, and then they're both going to take a second bite as they chomp down rapidly at you. 24 versus your AC.
It is my AC right now because I'm flat-footed.
Okay, and then the other one's going to take a second nibble, and that one's going to miss as well. So the second one can't bite you. The first one bites both your legs, trying to bite off a bit, and the second damage does 3, 7, 8 points of piercing damage. The big one. Oh, the big one.
Ooh, too bad I didn't have my reaction.
It's a shame we missed both of our.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think he's going to try and cast something on Ernie. All right.
No, I turn on my reaction back.
You better hit
Ernie,
me.
his eyes shine as he looks into you. Go ahead, and he's going to spend 2 actions to cast Daze, his cantrip. Go ahead and make a will save.
16.
16 versus the big boy. His
Seems
DC
low.
His DC is
This is the cantrip.
20.
The stun is only on the crit fail.
Yeah, so you take 20. Oh shit, where'd it go? So that's a fail.
Felt like a fail.
Yeah.
16's pretty low for Harlow.
You take damage equal to his spellcasting ability modifier. If you critically fail, you're stunned 1, but you just take the damage, and it's heightened. Okay.
So I think it adds some d6s.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a lot. You're gonna take 14
become
points
visible.
of.
Me too. This was just to get us
Mental
into the
damage.
gate stealthily.
All right.
That's already.
Yeah, the gate's closed.
Then his
Nobody can
last
see us now.
action, he is going to go into the ethereal plane. All right. That's it for the dogs. Let's go to Cordelia now.
How
You are grabbed by a black tentacle.
creepy.
Yeah.
If he had to make spell attack modifiers, could he have even done that against creatures he don't know are there?
Yep, it says in the area,
Okay.
just in the burst.
Yeah, because
How?
he cast the spell that summons the tentacles.
The tentacles are attacking. The spell's attacking. He didn't know they were there.
Indiscriminately.
How far away from?
It's like fireball hits stuff that it doesn't see.
sure.
How far away is he?
He is
I need to look up something.
40 feet from you.
Okay. I gotta make a DC 5 to see if I can
Manipulate anything.
do anything, which I would imagine manipulate is spellcasting.
If he's got some mana components, yeah.
I'm going to reach spell. Tortoise in the hair. I need him to go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw for me.
Fortitude. That's a natural 13 plus his fort save. 28.
Succeeds, but he is still slowed for 1 round.
Okay. So he loses 1 action.
Unfortunately, Wesley, you're not sped up.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
Oh, he didn't use his extra action last turn, right? Okay, that's fine. All right, he forgot. Wesley. Oh wait, you end your turn inside the tentacle. You're gonna take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as it keeps binding and constricting you.
I am going to attempt an acrobatics check to get out of the tentacles.
Okay, go ahead.
38.
Crit success.
Okay, so I'm out. As I come out, like I kind of like slide down the tentacle and like use the momentum to make a bleeding finisher onto this dude to just try to like hack at
Okay,
him.
go for it.
17 plus 17 is 34 versus his flat-footed.
Ooh, that's a crit. Ooh, that's a crit.
Spice him the ball.
His ace 23 is his flat-footed.
Okay, so the finisher does 11 plus 6 is 17, does 34 damage.
He tries to absorb some of it. You can see it's really tough for him. He's
and he
beyond
is
bloody.
bleeding 3d6.
Whoa! Hang on, how much is the total?
34.
34. He's on death's door.
And then for my
Well,
last action,
he's knocking on it. He's not there yet.
I can't make any more attacks, so I just brandish my shield and
All right.
position it between the dogs.
He is like bleeding, and you can see his hand has like, like after it melted in the ground, it's come back up, and it's like and a chain around his neck, and he like clutches it with his other hand, like as he's bleeding. What? He was not expecting that shit. All right, Brooks. Yeah. Was that for what? Wesley?
Yeah, I raised my shield for my last action.
I'm going to spend an action to examine this cube
Okay.
and see if I can figure out if there's some kind of, if it's just like a magical way to get in, or if it's like some.
Roll Arcana.
Oh, wait.
Hi-ya.
Ooh.
31.
I did not do enough damage.
Oh.
Add it on. Let's hear it.
He needs to take 22 more.
22 more.
I forgot to do my weapon dice.
So here's what happens.
I forgot my weapon dice. I only did the.
Yeah, you
like
only
a
did
delayed
you only did
effect
the
as his
finisher.
body
So as you
slides off.
strike him, he's
Time
like,
gauge.
a worthy strike, and he goes to turn back the time. You see him using the chronomancy to turn back time, and then you see Wesley just do the anime, and you see his like where he's holding
already dead.
between the fingers, the blood goes, and he just collapses down.
Oh my god.
And the black tentacles descend back into the ground. Fuck me.
Wow. I got a 31.
You see the dog start whimpering. You can see it's very clearly to you. You're like, you can detect this. There is a door there that requires some sort of something to make it activate and open up.
Of course it does. Okay.
Slam that hand all over
Yeah.
it.
That's what I was gonna say.
Why don't I just make a open place for you guys to walk in and take the phylactery? There's free phylacteries here.
It's buy one, get one.
Fuck you, Cube.
Take the whole cube.
For my,
I'm gonna
Take
shrink
the
it.
cube and move it over here.
With the cube is the phylactery.
Oh God!
Inside the cube. No, it is the cube. Can you imagine how powerful that phylactery would be?
Oh my God!
I literally
You got
cannot.
2 actions left.
I can see some of the dogs, not the big one.
You can see everything but the big one. He's on the ethereal plane.
Has one of the little ones been hit yet?
No.
Okay,
None of
I'm
them have
gonna-
been hit, only the wizard.
I'm gonna do the one
Right.
furthest,
Only the
or the one
wizard.
closest to me, I guess. I'm gonna cast Daze on it myself, so we become visible.
Oh, well, I think I became visible when
Yeah.
I cast Tortoise in the Hair. So
So it is a will save.
I'm
Uh-oh.
still in my pretty dress.
Uh-oh. 19?
That's a fail.
Yeah.
It's damage.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 damage.
Okay. It whimpers a little bit.
That's everything.
Okay. Next up, it's going to be... Oh, Ernie, you're back up.
I want to move into a flanking position on that closer
You could
guy.
do that with your 5 foot, sure.
Okay.
I'll call that flanking, even though it's technically not.
All right. Well, then I'll do my 5-foot step attack.
Got it.
Does a 23 hit? It's
Yeah,
flat-footed.
It do.
You do be hidden.
15 points of damage.
And you did 7, so it's on death's door. It's like, as you stab it, it's like whimpering.
Sorry, buddy. I do it again.
Oh.
Well.
Sorry, old yeller.
Ooh.
I'm just...
Maybe not though.
Ooh.
I'm also saying that I have hundreds of miniatures in that other room, and I do not have a single Blink Dog mini.
17
Oh,
You love Blink
bye.
to hit. To hit.
Flanking,
Flat-footed.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Step and strike.
17.
Third one.
Yeah, that's gonna be. So that was 16 points of damage.
He's-
On it.
oh,
So-
yeah, he's fucking- yeah, he was on death's door.
I'm gonna step and strike the third one.
17 hits.
Let's see if it hits.
Oh, 17 doesn't hit. You're not flanking this one, unfortunately. Because you.
So I could have. On the second one, I can strike and then step, and then I can step and then strike.
You can strike, then step, then step, then strike. You can't, from where you were, there's no way to physically get there. Like, you already got that one.
Yes, that was 5, and then I stabbed.
So
and I
you
moved.
used an action?
So no, it was.
You can do a 5 step before and after?
I can do either step and strike,
Okay.
or strike and step.
So what you did was.
So I did step, strike,
Then strike, then
step.
step, and then step,
and then
strike.
step,
Okay,
strike.
gotcha. So
So
like
you get
that.
to move 3 times instead.
Okay.
This boy dancing.
Yeah.
He's moving around.
But it's only a 17 to hit its flanking. Is that
Yep.
okay?
16.
16 points of damage.
It is fucked up. He is not dead, but he is fucked up. It's their turn. He's going to turn on Ernie, because fuck him, that's why. And he's going to roll an 18 versus AC. And with everything he's got left, he's going to jump on you, like trying to pounce. Natural 20.
Ooh, he did it.
This is his last breath.
Last
He's
hurrah.
going to do 12 points of piercing. That's what they like to do on crits.
As he does that,
Yeah. That was more of a cat sound.
I kind of like hold real
Happy
tight.
birthday, boy.
No, something else.
No, so close. Never mind. It
Okay.
doesn't happen.
So he pounces on you. As he
Oh, that's
bites.
cool.
Yeah, fuck Ernie. The big one's
How
gonna
much? How much was that?
12. The big one's gonna blink in on this side because he's not getting close to fucking Brooks. He is going to bite.
He doesn't have to be close.
He does not. Oh shit. 26 versus AC.
I only look
hits.
like a
You're
melee
not. He's
fighter.
not flanking right now.
I'll try.
Ooh, max damage. 11 points of piercing.
You were doing good work. Oh no, that was the.
And then
Spectral
second
Brooks
bite.
again.
Natural 18, so 27 versus AC.
That hits.
Oh no, you just used it.
8 points of piercing.
Cool.
What's your HP like?
Don't worry about it.
He can't. He has no third action, so he can't blink out. That's gonna bring us to Cordelia.
I hear no bell.
Hey guys, this is not inside the dungeon yet.
No bell. Oh no.
I didn't even get a cone of cold, you guys. That guy had it prepped, ready to go.
God.
I'm sorry to interrupt the tentacles.
Yeah. Is the dog 30 feet from me?
The little one, yeah, I'll call it 30 feet.
Cool. Tossing my butcher knife at it.
Okay.
Telekinetic projectile.
Cordelia, I'll kill anyone. Old people, dogs, I'll kill them all. Line them up for me.
20.
The knife. And he just has one little squeal as it's dead.
I like how I was like, all right, guys, we're not going to kill anyone. And then immediately I was like, kill the mage!
All right, it's dead. You have one action left.
Funny how that works.
We're good people, right?
We're the good guys.
Explicitly no.
Well, when you're killing this
Oh god.
evil of a person,
Yeah.
aren't you really doing good?
I was just trying to protect
so, last action, you've got guidance.
That doesn't explain the scientists.
Guidance.
Yeah.
I need that.
All right,
Go
next
get
up,
'em.
Brooks,
Go get him.
our last
Can I
boy.
reach it
Wait.
30 feet? Or
Did I
20?
get
No, I
to?
can't reach it, huh?
Or no, I went before.
I'll take 2 strides to get to it.
He
I
might have
guess.
got skipped.
I have 25.
Did I skip Wesley?
Yeah.
think so.
No, he's the very.
I think he's after the
he's
mage.
one
I
ahead
skipped
of me,
Wesley. I'm sorry. I did skip Wesley. Sorry, I was
Skip
just
Wesley and then you.
looking at your amazing mini here. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'll do a tumble through, just see if I can get my
Tumble
panache
through.
back. 22 versus his reflex.
Against the dog's reflex? It's exactly 22. You win.
Cool, that gives me panache.
Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna unload the bleeding finisher on him.
I don't like the way you said that.
So
I made it sound like it's gonna hurt.
26 versus flat-footed.
It's a hit. It's not a crit because he's an elite.
Yeah. 6, 10, 15, 16, 24, and he is bleeding.
He's bloodied. Okay. Okay.
And then last
So-
action, I shield.
Okay, the shield is raised, and he's just. All right, that brings us to Brooks now. Sorry about that, Brooks.
So Brooks goes to run his 25 feet, but then is wearing the armor. He's like, oh!
You can make it. You can make it in 25.
Okay,
No,
so I think
he's only
saying
got
he can't
10
move
feet
25.
in the armor.
I think I have
You have 15.
15 feet of movement.
You
so
cannot
I'm
make
gonna-
it there.
I'll do 2 strides then.
Okay.
I was like, oh god, I forgot. It's dinner time.
4 comes of life.
Stab him. Ooh, a 19.
Oh shit.
Plus
His AC is 20, so you automatically probably crit.
plus 13.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's a crit. Just tell me how you do it. No, I was gonna have him yield.
Oh.
Oh no, it's his fault. He was fighting you guys.
Well,
You can make it non-lethal, just
No,
get a minus 2
no.
penalty.
for a crit. So I'm running and I'm like, I'm gonna get him, and then the dog is like, okay, I will yield.
He says, he goes, I yield. Truly you are. He turns and Brooks
You
just like
trip and
fucking
fall
triple
into him.
frogs him.
Yeah, I go to stop, like, oh.
The momentum is too much and it just.
Sorry, the armor's too heavy.
Yeah.
He says, I would have told you all the secrets.
Oh my god.
Quick, Cordelia, talk to the dead.
No, the dungeon. And the dungeon guide is.
No,
Gone.
don't say that. That's not true.
guy.
He wouldn't have said that.
All right.
His name's Franklin.
My immersion. All right. Good job, guys. You survived the first encounter on the outside of the dungeon.
Barely.
We're all
Gonna
dead.
bump the mic, chat.
Good job.
As you're like running up to him, you say it's dinner time, and that's what finished him. Like,
So as the body's laying there dead, like 6 seconds later, you're all just like, the blink dog just goes from the bloody finisher that's still flowing through him.
Oh. Anyway.
I'm sorry, it all happened so fast.
I found an entrance to the cube. We need something. I think it's the hand, maybe, but
I'm bleeding so much.
I'm gonna actually I'm gonna walk over and treat wounds takes a minute.
Today's
Treat
been
wounds
the,
takes 10
today's
minutes.
been the worst
10
day.
minutes. You
I
have 10 minutes to
do-
spare.
I do have battle medicine, but I guess that's different.
That is different.
can we
But-
hide the bodies?
I'm still gonna walk
I mean,
over.
somehow.
he sounded the alarm. I feel like
I mean, he called the dogs.
He did cry.
You're walking over where?
I'm gonna walk over towards the group, and as she does, she just kind of exhales, and it's very just tired of everything that's already happened.
I'm just tired.
And as she does, these kind of wispy shadows spill out of her mouth and turn into little moths that fly over to the bodies. And I'm going to cast Moth's Supper.
The fuck is that shit? Why you got so many bugs?
I'm sorry, Victorious One. I didn't know. And I made a vaguely bug person.
Moths are cute though.
They're very cute. They're like the little fluffy, like little.
Until they do
black-
whatever they're about to do, huh?
Yeah, no, they're gonna start
Eating the dead bodies.
feasting on the corpses.
And
Make sure they don't eat the hands.
No, it's essentially they're kind of like little mosquitoes. They're gonna
Drinking all the blood.
they're gonna
as-
drink some of the blood, and
so-
then they will return to me. And then she's just kind of got little moths perched like in her hair and on her shoulders, and they're gonna start healing me.
Okay. Okay.
For the next hour, I've just got spooky little blood moths. You're welcome.
I'm
what
gonna
have we done?
inspect the wizard. I
Okay,
guess grab
well
the
he's
hand.
he's just bones now and cloth. The moths ate him clean.
That was fast.
That's how they did it, right? Or they're just continuously nibbling.
No,
I think they just like each got like a little nibble and came back to her. And
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
let's
Well,
see,
he looks fucked up then. Now he's mutilated. On him, you find his hand on a chain, and then he has this one scrap of paper, like a little scroll, and it's like tucked into his like pocket, like a little, and it's been fumbled through and read many times.
Is it common or undercommon?
It is in
That's the only language I can.
It is in common. It says commons, gabled. It has a hand and it has a index finger. Training, armory, heliac, and it has these two fingers. Prison ward, jailed, and has the middle finger. Guildmaster hall,
it's out on.
ideal,
Yep.
and it has these two fingers.
And maybe the reason they're rotting in certain spots is that like their role.
Croon,
Mercy.
dieback, and it has all 5 fingers.
What's a dieback?
All right.
That's
Roll nature. Everyone roll nature.
100% the freaking code.
Nature.
20
25.
not natural.
28.
If you got over a 20, a dieback is whenever plants start to die and you see the brown on the edges of the plants. It's what's happening to the plants around you in this area with the thorns and everything. Like when you see a plant that looks healthy but it has the rot on the edges of it, it's when plants start to decay.
So I'm guessing we want to go to the prison.
I would imagine that's where we'll find the woman we're looking for.
And I'll look at my phone real quick. The hand you pick up, his hand has bruises. He has 1 bruise on this finger,
The
index finger.
So
So what's
That's
that
not
first
any of these.
one? Isn't the first one the index finger?
No, the first one is
This one.
Oh, right.
This is not the index finger?
What is the index finger?
Yeah. This is the ring finger.
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless they're using left hands.
It's supposed to be the index finger.
Okay.
I didn't consider.
Here, fix it.
Dex class.
Look,
That's reflex.
clearly.
Okay. So, what was the first thing that it said? The comments?
If I'm interpreting this, it's, like, it seems like a past phrase that you say and
well,
a
that
signature you put onto the cube to tell it where you want to go.
yeah,
Kind of like some sort
Oh.
of.
that cube's only like 15 by 15 feet or so. It's got to be like whatever finger you put on it opens where you're going.
It's gotta be
Okay.
bigger on the
It's
inside.
got to be bigger on the inside.
I thought it just lifted me
Does that
going.
mean they have Croon here?
That's kind of a scary implication.
The guy?
dieback?
I'm guessing that's the phrase to go see him.
I
Maybe we
mean,
don't do that one. yet.
either that or like high priest or something.
Phylactery?
No,
No?
I don't think so.
I'm still not quite certain
The-
what a croon is.
The-
Or a phylactery.
Kroon is the
Is a
god.
Yes, it's the
The
god.
person that's been captured was investigating a cult that dealt with the Eternal One.
Is this considered a cult?
It ain't
Cult
fucking
Kroon.
mainstream. We don't have this church in Arla, I can tell you that much.
Well, no matter where we go, we're probably going to find more wizards in each spot, more guards.
I'm wondering if I like hold up his hand. They only have access to the places that they have the molds, which means we have to go to the common area and find more hands.
I need more hands.
I really hope that's not the case. I think it.
Or maybe it's
It
just
might
weared
just-
away from where they
I
come.
could
Yeah,
have
it
gotten
might
so
just
many
be-
fingers
Usually
earlier.
go.
It might just be bruising from constant.
Should we try to go to the jail and see if it works?
Yes, just one moment, and I am gonna.
Also,
I'm
Ernie, I
gonna
think
group
you're-
heal.
Like dying.
Me too, man.
That's why I said just.
I think so too.
Just one moment.
I just drank that last potion.
Technically, I didn't go in the dungeon yet. You could just go fuck off and go heal.
No,
This
we've
bastard-
started the infiltration. We have to keep going,
This
or they're
bastard will
going
just
to.
respawn.
We're in it now.
They're gonna like quadruple their freaking defenses if we.
It's not too late to just blame the Shrieking Sisters.
Everybody heals
To the dagger
11.
back.
11.
Yeah.
No, I meant it.
Hey, Ernie,
fell
want
for
one
our
of these?
ruse.
Upon you, one of the lesser potions.
Like, I
I'll-
don't even take it out of your hand. Like,
I'll hand you another lesser one.
He gerbils it.
Okay.
I think we go ahead.
Yikes.
What are they? 2d8 plus 5.
I think they're 2d8 plus 5, yeah.
Go ahead and drink one. Oh, nice.
I mean, the jail is where we'd expect to find
Our prisoner friend.
the prisoner.
And
But if there's more to do while we're here, like
I
looking
mean,
for the phylactery,
she might know where it is, or at least have some idea.
I mean, let's try and go. So I
Yeah.
guess I'll take his hand. Try
Okay.
and
When you take the hand and you go near the front, the cube opens up. And there's a little 15-foot square cube. There's only enough room for you guys to kind of like you guys are ass to elbow in here.
it's okay. I'm really good at squeezing.
And thank goodness, I mean, Kai's not here, so you can squeeze in. There is a sort of metal panel in the shape of an enormous clock. It has very clearly defined numbers and a minute hand and a hour hand that are currently just together at noon. And in the center of the hands is a place for a hand. In the center of the things that are the clock timekeepers, there's a place to put the decayed thing that's around your neck, in case that wasn't clear.
Yeah, it's not normal.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll put it middle finger down
Okay.
and say jailed.
Nothing happens. But as you put it down, you feel this, and the minute and the hour hands go, and it's like stuck in there now.
Take another
And then
14 points.
behind
of healing.
you, sealed shut, the metal door closes with no signs of opening.
Let me see that.
Press down on the finger.
I'm wondering if he doesn't have access to that area like I was speculating.
Which finger was bruised for him?
The one that goes to the commons. We try to go to the one that's jail.
Sure. Which finger's jail?
Index.
I press down on jail finger.
Jail? That's the middle finger.
Yeah, that's what I tried.
Oh, I see.
But that's not the one that he has.
It's all just the hand is like sticky, and you can kind of peel it back, but
Can you wiggle? Can I wiggle the time?
yep,
to
the minute hand, you move it, and you can feel it. If you let go, it's going to click in place. You can move both
I wonder if
hands.
these correspond to numbers, because they're all within
Like, you
12
think
numbers of the alphabet.
that code goes into. Okay, so let's observe the clock. Does there seem to be any etchings other than maybe time signatures on it?
Just time, just 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through, like a normal clock. They can't see I'm pointing to a clock.
But then that would only be two.
I mean,
These are too many letters for it to be just two, like a time, I think. right?
Does it seem to be worn in any particular way that indicates like,
It's smooth.
yeah?
We could try the commons and see if it goes there in this way.
Did we not just try that?
Oh, did you?
No.
Yeah, I was trying
I
jail
thought-
again. Alright, I pressed the commons finger. Commons.
You say gabled,
No,
right?
it's
Gabled.
No, we're missing a piece with the.
The clock.
It's dinner time.
See if we could disable this part of. No,
I mean, I don't want to die trying to take it apart.
I feel like I'm on the right track, but I don't know how to accomplish this. If you move the minute or the hour hand, do both hands move?
You can move both hands.
Okay.
Do they feel like they want to move in either direction, or is it like?
You can. They're heavy though. Like you feel like they're gonna click in place whenever you drop them, but like they're movable in any direction. It doesn't resist either way.
Gabled. Okay. Because
As
the
you
G
guys
would be
are-
like 7, the A would be 1, B2, C3. But I don't know if... Are all the words even numbered?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. Dang. Okay.
Ernie, we might need a hotwire this.
I get underneath the clock face. Is there any sort of panel or anything like that?
It's like solid metal. You'd have to like carve into it, like with a welding torch or like magic to get into the panel.
Oh.
It's metal?
It's like this whole thing has been like chrome platinumed up. Like they've been meticulous about their like.
Yeah, they really don't want us to get in here.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's impassable, but you assume you can hear clockwork gears and you know you'd be able to tinker with it. You can try and tinker from the top, it'd just be a lot harder. But you know you can tinker from the bottom if you can get in the bottom. Because you know this thing has a clockwork mechanism.
While we're sitting in here, I'm going to cast instant armor again, so when
Okay.
it goes away. Okay, so one more scroll.
Oh, you can't just do back and forth for the whole day?
I don't think so.
Mm-mm. It's when you cast it, it's back, and that's the end of the spell. I'm pretty sure.
Did you heal the additional 14 that I did?
Oh, I thought it was just Ernie.
Mm-mm. It was everybody.
Okay.
What we doing, y'all?
Gabled.
I'll attempt to assist Ernie if he wants to tinker with it. I'm trying to think of what the clock signifies.
The clock, I guess while looking at it, is there any particular part of it that looks more worn in the sense of like shifting, moving?
I grab the clock and I just start spinning it anti-clockwise.
Okay. Do you let it stop anywhere?
I just keep cranking it for a bit.
Your arm starts to get tired.
I can't stop.
Let me know when you stop.
Stop it.
I crank it to midnight.
Just 12.
We're going to midnight, which is 12.
12.
I was going to suggest 12, like it's the common
Let's see.
lunchtime, I guess.
And you watch as it clicks in and locks at midnight. It pops the hand off and it tumbles on the ground. Suddenly, the ground beneath you begins to split, and you feel the ground pull back. Everyone make a reflex saving throw.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm not good at that.
I'm immune to fall damage. Can I just glide down? Or is
Okay,
there some other
you
effect?
see Wesley going
Natural
down.
20.
Natural
or
20.
31.
Nice.
26.
26 is a pass. You manage to stay on a 5-foot square. Cordelia?
29.
You manage to stay on a 5-foot square. You take no fall damage. You take no fall damage. You can see each of you, the tiles split in opposite directions, and then it all goes down. You take no damage. Everyone else that passed,
What is? I was gonna say I do have the snap leaf. I don't know if this would trigger
you
it.
it would
This would trigger it because
if you want to use a snap leaf, you'll take no
Yeah.
damage here.
Yeah, that's what snap leaf triggers
Yeah,
is when you begin falling.
Then yeah.
All right. So, as you guys land,
Oh no.
Down in jail.
you land in what you presume to be jail.
Okay. Yeah.
As you land, you can see these completely clear doors that looks like there's not even a door there, except when you move your eyes, you can sort of see this chromatic sort of sheen of energy in front of you. You can see in the corner, almost like it's asleep, you see this construct made of these clockwork gears, an assassin-like mask come to a sharp point, 2 blades as it is in its resting position, and sleeping in the area right between Ernie and Brooks, you can see a dwarf laying face down in a bundle of furs, just sort of laying there,
Are there
grumbling.
walls dividing us? Like,
There, so
Or is
metal,
only-
like metal, 10 feet up, metal roof, solid like chrome, like you've
the
seen.
only one that could see it is people on the opposite.
Correct.
See her is people on the opposite wall.
So only
Cordelia and Ernie.
Cordelia and Ernie can see the dwarf. All right. So, as you're laying here, what do we do? Oh, everyone that didn't have immunity to fall damage, you take 7 points of fall damage
And land prone.
and land prone.
Now,
I did crit succeed.
Okay, then you take no damage.
I also crit succeeded.
You take no damage then. Fine.
I did it.
Did the hero landing?
I guess I inspect the door for any release mechanism or whatever.
There appear to be none. As you move, you hear the bundle of furs moves. Ernie, as you look across the way from you, you see the face. It lifts up at first. These eyes, dark circled. You can see signs of torture and pain. Underneath the fur that's keeping him warm, you see this grizzled eyes, this mangled, sharp teeth of someone you met a long time ago. In the jail cell across from you, you see the leader of the maned wolves, Yarn. As you rise, he looks over at Cordelia, he looks over at you, and shaking, he smiles and holds a single finger to his lips. Shh. You must be quiet. Wouldn't want to wake the jailer. And he glances over in the direction of the automaton in the corner, and you hear the soft sounds of clockwork whirring. And that's where we're going to end our session for tonight.
I feel like I was so close to figuring it out.
You did figure it out. You said it out loud.
I didn't know what to do with the clock.
It's close. You were close. Hey, you fucked around. You found out. That was a fun session. That was fun as fuck. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for the lurkers. Thank you for people checking us on YouTube. Thank you for people that are popping in and out or just saying hey and showing us your support. We will be back next week, and Kai will be back. We will have our
thank
Love to see
God.
how he gets.
He'll free
Thank
us.
God. As we start off in
I dropped
prison.
into another jail cell.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you again to
Dwarf all
Californians for
along.
composing our theme song. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. We love you all so, so much, and we'll see you next time in the City of Spells.
Goodbye.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.